the start of something big. Right now, you're standing at a turning point, a place where life is handing you the keys to become someone you never thought possible. If you've been feeling a little lost, maybe even weighed down by the same old routines or held back by self-doubt, it's not by chance that you're here. You're ready to step up and completely change the game. We all get to that stage where something inside nudges us, demanding more, whispering that there's a life beyond what we're used to. The truth is, the power to shape that new life has always been within you. It's been waiting, sometimes quietly, and sometimes with an urgent pull. But what if, in the next few weeks, you could tap into that power and transform completely? What if, 3 months from now, people barely recognized the person you've become? Not because you're pretending, but because you've finally stepped into who you were always meant to be. It's time to break free from self-imposed limits, shake off any false narratives that have been holding you down, and replace those thoughts with the strength and resilience needed to become a new version of yourself. There's an ancient wisdom behind this kind of change. Stoic philosophy, developed over thousands of years, offers a roadmap to build unbreakable confidence, inner peace, and clarity. And the best part? You don't need a lifetime to experience these changes. In just a few months, you can reach a place where setbacks no longer rattle you, doubts no longer drive your choices, and other people's opinions lose the power they once had over your happiness. Here's where it gets exciting. Change doesn't need to be overwhelming. Each day you'll take small, powerful steps. This isn't about climbing a mountain all at once. It's about steady progress, a consistent climb that leads to a breathtaking view you never thought you'd see. For centuries, Stoic thinkers have taught that transformation begins in the mind. Before any external success or physical shift, it's the mindset that sets the foundation. So, as you take on this journey, you'll start where it all matters, inside. You'll be building a mental framework that's rock solid, one that can handle any storm, stay calm in chaos, and see through distractions. The first step is releasing what no longer serves you. Think about it. How much energy have you spent on things beyond your control? It's exhausting, isn't it? The Stoics understood that one of life's biggest sources of suffering is the need to control what's uncontrollable. Other people's opinions, the unexpected changes that disrupt your plans, or even the small daily annoyances. Letting go of this need is where real freedom starts. And with that freedom comes a steady, calm energy, one that frees you to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. By shedding this excess, you're already ahead, lightening the load you'll carry forward. But don't think it stops there. Once the mental weight is gone, you'll open up a world of possibilities. Each day, you'll wake up knowing you're moving forward with purpose and confidence, crafting the life you want and taking steady steps toward the person you choose to be. You'll also be developing patience and resilience, qualities that anchor you through any storm. Patience isn't just waiting, it's waiting with strength. It's knowing that change is happening, even if you can't see it just yet. With patience, you gain the ability to endure, to push through when things get tough, and to trust that each effort builds upon the last. Think of it as planting seeds. Every action you take now is a seed you're planting, and while you might not see the results immediately, you're investing in a harvest that will reward you beyond what you can envision now. Another powerful element you'll explore is gratitude, a tool that many underestimate, but that has the power to change everything. When you wake up each day choosing to see the good, choosing to appreciate even the smallest wins, you shift your entire outlook. Challenges start to seem smaller, wins feel bigger, and life takes on a richness that you may have overlooked before. And that gratitude doesn't only elevate your mood, it builds resilience. Each day, as you choose gratitude, you're reinforcing a mindset that can withstand life's ups and downs without losing hope. And let's talk about action. Decisive, consistent action. The Stoics didn't just sit back and think about change, they acted. They believed in showing up each day and taking even the smallest step toward growth. This journey is your chance to practice that kind of active self-improvement. When you start to see each choice as a vote for the person you want to become, your actions gain purpose. From the food you eat to the conversations you have, each step becomes part of the bigger picture, part of the transformation. And here's something powerful. As you take action, you'll learn to value the effort itself, not just the end goal. True satisfaction, the kind that lasts, isn't found in chasing outcomes. It's found in knowing you're putting in the work, that you're building something real. By shifting your focus from results to effort, you'll find joy in the process and build a habit of showing up for yourself. This resilience becomes your armor, a shield against the noise and doubts that might have held you back in the past. The beauty of this journey is that you're not only changing yourself, you're reshaping your environment. People around you will start to notice, maybe not right away, but as you grow more grounded and confident, it'll show in everything you do. Don't be surprised if those closest to you are inspired to make changes themselves. You're not just on a solo path of growth. You're setting an example, sparking a ripple effect that can impact those around you. And when challenges come, and they will, you'll have a toolbox full of Stoic wisdom to help you navigate through them without losing your focus. One of the most life-changing lessons you'll discover is the power of mortality awareness. This might sound intense, but the Stoics saw it as a gift, a reminder that life is short, precious, and worth making the most of. Embracing this awareness gives every moment depth. You start living with more intention, making choices that reflect what truly matters. With this understanding, you won't take time for granted. Instead, you'll appreciate it, make meaningful choices, and feel a deep sense of purpose in everything you do. So, take this as your invitation. You're not just setting out to improve. This is a chance to step into a new reality, one that aligns with who you've always wanted to be, but perhaps never felt ready to become. There's no need to wait for the perfect time. That moment is right here. It's time to harness your inner strength, push your boundaries, and build a life you're proud of. Are you ready to look back, just a few months from now, and feel that rush of pride for all the obstacles you've overcome? To finally break free from limitations and realize that every step you've taken has been worth it? This is the beginning of that journey, one that could redefine your life, your mindset, and your purpose. Let's get started. Moving forward, we're diving into one of the most critical steps on this journey, breaking out of that familiar, comfortable space that often feels safe but holds us back. That place of predictable routines, familiar patterns, and limited risks. It's where you might feel protected, but it's also where growth becomes stagnant, where potential goes untapped. When we settle into a comfort zone, it can seem like a harmless, even smart choice. But in reality, it's a place of quiet restraint, a silent cage that stops us from experiencing life fully and discovering just how strong we truly are. Let's start by recognizing that while the comfort zone offers a sense of stability, it also limits opportunities. In many ways, it's a way of keeping your feet firmly planted where things are predictable, but it comes with a hidden cost: complacency. When you're tucked away in the safety of this space, the risks are low, but so are the rewards. Growth, excitement, discovery, these all happen on the other side of comfort, in the spaces where uncertainty might feel intimidating but is filled with potential. The Stoics knew this well. They believed that facing discomfort wasn't just a way to build resilience, it was essential for personal transformation. In their view, growth demanded that one confront fears, stretch beyond self-imposed limits, and lean into the unknown. For the Stoics, stepping out of comfort wasn't just about being brave for bravery's sake. It was about building the character and mental strength needed to live a fulfilled life. Let's break down how this works. When you take even a small step beyond the familiar, you're not just expanding your experiences, you're building mental toughness. The mind grows accustomed to a certain level of comfort, but with each decision to step beyond it, your inner resilience strengthens. The Stoics taught that, by choosing controlled discomfort, you gradually build a mental framework capable of handling life's bigger challenges with grace and calm. Think of it like lifting weights for your mind. The more you expose yourself to discomfort in small, manageable ways, the stronger and more adaptable you become. Now, how exactly do you start moving beyond these boundaries? Begin by recognizing the areas in your life where comfort has become a limitation. For instance, if you've been doing the same tasks at work or pursuing the same hobbies, that's likely a comfort zone. The first step in expanding your boundaries is simple but powerful: self-awareness. Pay attention to where your routines feel restrictive, where they limit growth rather than enhance it. Once you've identified those areas, start with small, manageable challenges that push you gently but steadily out of that zone. If social situations make you uncomfortable, maybe start by attending a small gathering or trying a one-on-one conversation. If the idea of public speaking is daunting, begin by speaking up in a meeting or having a casual conversation with a stranger. These small steps don't seem monumental, but each one builds courage and makes the unfamiliar a little more manageable. A powerful Stoic practice in this process is voluntary discomfort, an exercise designed to train the mind to tolerate and even embrace discomfort. By deliberately putting yourself in mildly uncomfortable situations, you teach yourself that discomfort is not a threat, but an opportunity. The Stoics practiced this by wearing simple clothing or fasting, actions that weren't drastic, but taught them to detach from the need for constant comfort. For instance, if you're used to sleeping in a luxurious bed, try simplifying your setup for a night. This small shift is a way of signaling to your mind that you're willing to forgo luxury for growth, reminding yourself that comfort isn't a necessity. These practices cultivate a resilience that extends beyond the small discomforts. As you get used to voluntarily stepping out of comfort, you'll start to notice a shift in how you react to unplanned challenges. When a difficult situation arises, your mind, already trained to handle discomfort, will be less likely to resist and more inclined to see the opportunity within. This is where Stoicism truly shines. By viewing discomfort as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, you cultivate a mind that doesn't run from challenges, but faces them with openness and readiness. As you make these adjustments, watch how your self-confidence grows. Each time you step beyond your comfort zone, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than the limitations you once placed on yourself. Self-confidence doesn't come from avoiding fear, it's built by facing it. And once you experience that feeling of successfully navigating discomfort, a small but significant shift happens inside. You begin to trust yourself more, to believe that you can handle whatever life throws your way. This sense of inner strength is the foundation of a resilient mindset, one that doesn't crumble at the first sign of hardship, but rises to meet it. Another key Stoic lesson in leaving the comfort zone is detaching from the outcome. Often, it's the fear of failure that keeps us from taking risks, the worry of falling short or making mistakes. But the Stoics encouraged focusing on the effort itself rather than the results. When you take a leap into the unknown, let go of the need for things to go perfectly. Instead, celebrate the fact that you had the courage to act. If you try something new and it doesn't go as planned, Remember that the experience itself is a success. It's proof that you were willing to break out of the comfort zone. This mindset shift can be transformative. Rather than being discouraged by setbacks, you begin to see them as valuable experiences that build resilience. With each attempt, successful or not, you learn and adapt. And as the Stoics taught, these lessons are worth far more than any single success or failure. They're part of your journey toward becoming a stronger, more self-reliant person who doesn't shy away from life's challenges. One of the most surprising benefits of stepping out of comfort is the realization that discomfort is rarely as bad as we fear. The mind often exaggerates the risks, painting a picture of failure or embarrassment that rarely matches reality. When you face these fears directly, you start to see through them. You realize that even if things don't go perfectly, you're still standing, still capable, and likely more resilient than before. This is what the Stoics meant by living in accordance with nature, embracing each experience as it is, without adding unnecessary fears or expectations. As you continue expanding your boundaries, remember that you're not just building skills or tolerance for discomfort. You're actively reshaping who you are. Each decision to step outside your comfort zone is a decision to grow, to live a life that's unafraid of the unknown. Over time, this becomes second nature. The more often you take these steps, the more naturally you'll move toward opportunities that once seemed intimidating. This is the essence of transformation, changing not just your actions, but the way you approach the world, and ultimately, the way you see yourself. The comfort zone, while safe, is also limiting. By stretching beyond it, you open yourself up to a world of new experiences and achievements that you might have once thought impossible. Each step taken beyond familiar ground becomes a stepping stone on the path of self-discovery and inner strength. And with each experience, you're reminded of the powerful truth: you're more capable than you know. Breaking free from this space isn't always easy, but it's one of the most rewarding decisions you'll make. Each day, as you take even small steps out of comfort, you're moving closer to becoming a version of yourself that's unrecognizable from who you are today. Not because you're fundamentally changing, but because you're finally letting go of what has held you back. In the end, you'll see that the comfort zone was just an illusion, a place that felt safe but kept you small. And once you leave it, the possibilities for growth and transformation are boundless. Having stepped beyond the safety of the comfort zone, you're now ready to embrace the power to reshape your experiences, even those that once felt frustrating or unfair. Frustration, after all, is often a signal, a call to action that something isn't right. It's a powerful, raw energy waiting to be transformed. Complaining, on the other hand, is that energy turned inward, an endless loop that drains motivation and keeps progress at bay. But what if each complaint could become a spark, a chance to shift from blame to purposeful action? The Stoics taught that the only way to grow stronger was to confront each challenge with clarity and responsibility, seeing beyond complaints and focusing on what could be done. By shifting from a mindset of complaint to one of action, you begin to see frustrations for what they really are: opportunities to take control, make meaningful changes, and take ownership of your life. When you stop venting about things that don't satisfy you, you open up a world of choices. Complaints often come from a place of feeling helpless or overlooked, but turning them into action is about recognizing that you have the power to respond in ways that drive real change. The Stoics believed in the power of self-mastery, the idea that while you might not control external events, you always control how you respond. By choosing a proactive response to frustrations, you begin to shape a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. The first step to transforming complaints into action is understanding what triggers them. Every complaint has a root cause, a misalignment between what you want and what's actually happening. Instead of letting this cause fester, take a moment to dissect it. For instance, if you find yourself repeatedly frustrated by a lack of recognition at work, shift the focus from the complaint to the underlying need. What does recognition mean to you? Is it a sign of respect or an acknowledgement of your hard work? By identifying this core need, you can start to outline clear steps to achieve it, turning passive frustration into constructive goals. Next, take ownership of the situation. Complaining often implies that the issue lies outside of you, that someone else should change, that circumstances should be different. But when you take responsibility, you reclaim the power to act. This doesn't mean accepting blame where it doesn't belong. It means acknowledging that your response to the situation is within your control. If the issue lies in a relationship, focus on what actions you can take to improve communication, build trust, or set boundaries. This proactive approach not only empowers you, but often leads to positive changes that wouldn't have happened through complaining alone. Embracing responsibility also involves recognizing the difference between factors within your control and those outside of it. Complaints often stem from a desire to change what is unchangeable, other people's attitudes, circumstances beyond your reach, or past events. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control teaches that the only things you truly control are your actions, thoughts, and attitudes. When you redirect your energy from what's out of your hands to what's within your reach, you not only free yourself from frustration, but also increase your ability to make impactful changes. This mindset shift doesn't mean you suppress or ignore frustrations. Rather, you channel them. Frustration becomes a guide, highlighting areas where you can grow, change, or assert your needs. Let's say you're unhappy with your fitness level. Instead of complaining about a lack of time or feeling frustrated by others' achievements, turn that energy inward. Set small, achievable goals that lead toward your desired outcome. For instance, commit to a short, daily workout, instead of wishing for hours of free time. This kind of action-oriented thinking builds momentum, creating a cycle of success that feeds back into itself. The Stoics also recognized that actions speak louder than words. It's easy to talk about problems, but it's far more powerful to act on solutions. When you stop venting and start doing, you gain a sense of purpose and satisfaction that complaints could never provide. Action silences self-doubt and opens doors you might not have seen before. It gives your mind a constructive outlet, letting you focus on what can be improved rather than what went wrong. For example, if a situation at work feels unjust, consider how you can address it professionally, either by improving your own performance, seeking new opportunities, or setting boundaries that protect your well-being. Taking responsibility for your actions also leads to an increased sense of self-worth. Each time you choose action over complaint, you're reinforcing the belief that you are capable of handling life's challenges. This self-respect grows with each decision, creating a resilient mindset that strengthens over time. Even when situations don't turn out as planned, the fact that you acted rather than complained builds a foundation of confidence. This approach also shifts your identity from someone who is reactive to someone who is empowered, someone who takes charge of their own experiences. One of the most transformative effects of this mindset shift is the way it changes your relationship with others. Complaints can create distance. They imply blame or dissatisfaction, often alienating those around you. But when you choose to act instead of complain, you create a sense of collaboration and mutual respect. Others begin to see you as a problem solver, someone who doesn't just point out issues, but also contributes to solutions. This doesn't mean you suppress your needs, but rather that you express them in constructive ways, making it more likely for others to respond positively. In choosing action, you're also making a commitment to resilience. Life rarely goes exactly as we plan, and frustrations are inevitable. But resilience isn't about avoiding these bumps. It's about adapting to them. When you face a setback, see it as a signal to reevaluate and adapt, rather than something to vent about. If a project doesn't go as expected, analyze what could be improved and apply it to your next attempt. This mindset builds not only resilience, but also flexibility, an essential quality in a world that's constantly changing. Responsibility, in the Stoic sense, is a gateway to freedom. By shifting from complaint to action, you're no longer waiting for life to change. You're actively shaping it. And as you make this shift, something profound happens. The more you take ownership of your experiences, the less power external circumstances have over you. You become the author of your own story, making choices that align with your values and goals rather than being swayed by external forces. This Stoic approach to action over complaint doesn't demand perfection. It's about progress and the willingness to make small, steady adjustments. If you're frustrated with your financial situation, consider what steps, however small, you can take to create more stability. Whether it's budgeting, cutting back on non-essential spending, or finding a side income source, each action taken is a move toward greater autonomy. Every small step reaffirms that you're capable of improving your circumstances, turning frustration into empowerment. This approach cultivates a deep sense of gratitude. When you take action, you start to appreciate the journey rather than getting caught up in what's missing or lacking. The complaints fall away, replaced by a focus on growth and progress. This doesn't mean challenges disappear. It means you're building the strength to handle them with grace. Each frustration becomes a stepping stone, an opportunity to learn and grow rather than a reason to feel defeated. The transformation from complaint to action is a powerful shift, one that has the potential to change every aspect of your life. Instead of feeling like life happens to you, you start to see that you are an active participant, a creator of your own path. With each choice to act rather than complain, you move closer to the life you want, a life built on resilience, purpose, and strength. And that, in itself, is a profound victory, one that no amount of complaints could ever achieve. Having moved from a mindset of complaint to one of action, there's a natural next step to consider: letting go of the expectations that quietly shape so much of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Expectations are like invisible strings, often pulling us toward frustration, disappointment, and even resentment. They silently set us up to clash with reality, making it hard to see things as they are and creating a gap between what we want and what actually exists. Yet, letting go of expectations can free us from that tension, allowing us to face life's twists and turns with calm and clarity. In holding on to expectations, we often find ourselves entangled in a cycle of suffering. When we expect things to unfold in specific ways, or people to behave exactly as we want, any deviation from these mental scripts disrupts our peace. The Stoics understood this well and taught that it is our attachment to these rigid ideas that causes pain, not the events themselves. By learning to release expectations, we create space to accept each moment fully, without the weight of disappointment or the anxiety of unmet standards. When we let go of expectations, we open up to the present in a powerful way. Think about how often expectations keep us focused on a future that isn't here yet, or stuck on a past that didn't go as planned. In either case, we're robbed of the present moment, unable to engage with life as it's unfolding right now. Accepting reality as it is becomes a form of liberation, a way to release the mental burdens that tie us down. It's not about giving up on goals or settling for less. It's about seeing clearly, allowing reality to guide us, rather than clashing with it at every turn. One of the first steps in letting go of expectations is recognizing where they come from. Many of our expectations are shaped by societal standards, cultural beliefs, or even personal insecurities. For instance, we might expect a certain level of success by a certain age, or believe that others should always agree with us. These assumptions are often subtle, but they influence our reactions deeply. By identifying these sources, we start to see that many expectations don't actually serve us. They only feed anxiety and self-judgment. This realization is key because it allows us to question and release the expectations that are not aligned with our true values. A practical way to detach from expectations is to practice acceptance, which is central to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught that acceptance doesn't mean complacency. Rather, it's about seeing life as it is, without layering it with our desires or demands. When we accept a situation fully, we're able to respond to it effectively and calmly. For instance, if we're disappointed by a friend's actions, acceptance allows us to focus on our response rather than dwelling on the expectation that they should have acted differently. This approach doesn't make us passive, it makes us proactive, choosing to respond from a place of peace rather than resistance. Another benefit of letting go of expectations is the resilience it builds. Expectations are often rigid, demanding that life bend to our will. But when we let go, we become more adaptable, capable of flowing with life rather than against it. Resilience, in this sense, is about being flexible enough to meet each moment as it comes, without clinging to a specific outcome. This adaptability is especially powerful in times of hardship, as it allows us to stay grounded and resourceful instead of feeling overwhelmed by what didn't go as planned. We become less shaken by life's surprises, more capable of embracing change rather than fearing it. In relationships, letting go of expectations can be transformative. Many of the conflicts we experience with others stem from unspoken expectations, how we think they should act, speak, or respond. When we release these mental demands, we free ourselves and others from unnecessary tension. Relationships become a space of acceptance and understanding rather than control. Instead of expecting a partner or friend to fulfill certain roles, we start to appreciate them as they are, creating a foundation of genuine respect and support. This shift not only deepens our relationships, but also reduces the strain of trying to shape others to meet our idealized standards. Letting go of expectations also shifts our relationship with failure. When we cling to specific outcomes, any deviation from our plans feels like a loss. But without the pressure of rigid expectations, we begin to see setbacks as part of the journey rather than personal failures. This shift allows us to approach challenges with curiosity instead of judgment, focusing on the lessons within each experience rather than getting stuck on what didn't happen. The Stoics believed that failure itself was a form of learning, a natural part of growth, and that the only true loss was failing to respond with wisdom. When we let go of expectations, we embrace this growth-focused mindset, turning each experience into an opportunity for improvement. One of the most freeing aspects of releasing expectations is the peace it brings. Expectations are often accompanied by worry. What if things don't go as planned, or if others don't live up to our hopes? This constant worry can be exhausting, draining our mental energy. But by letting go, we're no longer bound by these mental what-ifs. Instead, we're able to meet each moment with a calm, open mind. This state of acceptance doesn't eliminate challenges. It simply removes the unnecessary tension we bring to them, allowing us to face life's difficulties with a steady heart. Another way to practice letting go of expectations is through gratitude. When we focus on what we already have, rather than what we wish would happen, our expectations naturally lessen. Gratitude grounds us in the present, reminding us of the richness in each moment, even if it doesn't meet all our ideals. By cultivating gratitude, we stop looking to the future for fulfillment and start finding it in the present. This practice doesn't just bring contentment, it also builds resilience, as it allows us to approach each moment with a sense of abundance rather than lack. Embracing reality as it is also enhances our sense of purpose. When we let go of rigid expectations about how life should look, we're free to focus on what truly matters to us, undistracted by superficial goals or societal pressures. The Stoics encouraged living in alignment with one's true values, a life guided by purpose rather than external validation. By letting go of expectations, we can align our actions with these deeper values, making choices that bring meaning and fulfillment rather than fleeting satisfaction. Perhaps one of the most profound outcomes of releasing expectations is the freedom it grants us. Expectations often feel like a form of control, a way to direct life toward what we want. But this sense of control is an illusion, one that creates tension and keeps us from fully engaging with the present. Letting go of expectations allows us to experience life with openness, free from the mental constraints of what should happen. This freedom brings a sense of lightness, a relief from the pressure to make every moment fit a predetermined mold. This approach doesn't mean abandoning all goals or aspirations. Rather, it's about holding them lightly. We can still strive for meaningful achievements, but without the rigid attachment to specific outcomes. This flexible approach allows us to pursue goals with dedication, yet remain resilient when life leads us in unexpected directions. By detaching from the expectation of exact results, we're able to enjoy the journey, finding fulfillment in the process itself, rather than fixating on the end point. Letting go of expectations helps us cultivate inner peace. When we're no longer fixated on how things should be, we're able to embrace how things are. This acceptance nurtures a calm, steady mindset, one that can handle life's ups and downs without being swayed by the outcome. Inner peace, in this sense, isn't about escaping reality. It's about embracing it fully, with the understanding that each moment is exactly as it should be. This peace allows us to face life with a clear, grounded perspective, finding joy in the simplicity of the present rather than the complexity of our expectations. In choosing acceptance over expectation, we're making a powerful shift, a shift toward resilience, peace, and fulfillment. Expectations may promise happiness, but they often bring frustration. Acceptance, on the other hand, offers a lasting contentment that isn't tied to external events or outcomes. It frees us to live fully, meet each moment as it comes, and find beauty in life exactly as it unfolds. With this mindset, we're not just surviving, we're thriving, empowered by the freedom to live without the limits of expectation. Having learned to let go of expectations, there's a new power within your reach, the strength to rely on yourself, to become a source of resilience and calm, no matter what unfolds around you. Building self-reliance doesn't mean cutting yourself off from others. It means developing an inner foundation so solid that you can weather any storm. When we stop searching outside ourselves for validation, strength, or approval, we unlock a level of freedom and confidence that only self-reliance can bring. There's an undeniable peace in knowing you are enough, capable of supporting and uplifting yourself, and that peace is something no external source can provide. At its core, self-reliance is about trusting your own judgment, believing in your own worth, and knowing that you are equipped to handle whatever life throws at you. This doesn't mean having all the answers. Rather, it's about knowing that you can find those answers within. Too often, people seek validation from others, needing reassurance to feel valued or worthy. But when you begin to see yourself as enough, that need for external approval fades, replaced by a quiet confidence. You're no longer held back by doubts or the fear of others' opinions. Instead, you rely on your inner compass to guide you, building a life that reflects your values and aspirations. One of the first steps to self-reliance is developing a strong sense of self-awareness. This means getting to know yourself on a deeper level, understanding your strengths, limitations, values, and motivations. Self-awareness allows you to see what truly drives you, rather than being influenced by others' expectations. When you know your values and what genuinely matters to you, you become your own compass, capable of making decisions that align with your true self. This foundation of self-awareness also provides clarity, helping you to navigate life's challenges without feeling swayed by every passing opinion or judgment. A key component of self-reliance is learning to take responsibility for your life. This means accepting that ultimately your happiness, fulfillment, and growth depend on you. When you take ownership of your life, you realize that you have the power to shape your reality. Rather than waiting for circumstances or others to change, you become the driving force behind your own progress. Taking responsibility empowers you to create the life you want, as you're no longer reliant on external conditions to dictate your well-being. This self-responsibility is a cornerstone of resilience, as it teaches you to adapt, grow, and thrive even when faced with adversity. Developing inner resilience is another essential aspect of self-reliance. Life is unpredictable, and relying solely on others for strength leaves you vulnerable. When you build resilience within, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges without feeling overwhelmed. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain or struggle. It's about knowing that you can move through those feelings and emerge stronger. This inner resilience becomes a quiet assurance that, no matter the obstacle, you have the strength to persevere. Each challenge faced becomes a building block of resilience, creating a sturdy foundation that remains steady through life's storms. Self-reliance also means trusting in your own judgment. Many people second-guess themselves, fearing that they'll make the wrong choice or disappoint others. But when you develop self-trust, you stop doubting every decision. You start to believe in your ability to choose wisely, even when the outcome isn't clear. This doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes, but it does mean that you have the confidence to learn from them and keep moving forward. Each decision, successful or not, becomes part of your growth, reinforcing the belief that you are capable of navigating your own path. Another important element of self-reliance is cultivating self-compassion. Too often, people are their own harshest critics, quick to judge themselves for any perceived flaw or failure. Self-reliance isn't about perfection. It's about treating yourself with kindness, even when you fall short. Self-compassion allows you to accept your imperfections without letting them define you. When you're kind to yourself, you create an inner environment that supports growth rather than hindering it. This compassion becomes a form of inner strength, a reminder that you don't need to be flawless to be worthy or capable. You simply need to be willing to learn and grow. Building self-reliance also involves letting go of the need for constant reassurance from others. Validation from others may feel good in the short term, but it's temporary and often fleeting. True validation comes from within, from knowing that you are enough as you are. When you stop seeking approval from others, you gain a sense of liberation. You're free to pursue your goals and values without being swayed by external opinions. This inner validation provides a steady source of confidence, one that doesn't waver based on others' approval or disapproval. In cultivating self-reliance, you'll also find a renewed sense of independence. Independence isn't about isolating yourself. It's about being able to stand on your own, even in the face of uncertainty. This independence allows you to take risks, explore new opportunities, and pursue your passions without fear of being unsupported. You know that, no matter what, you can rely on yourself to adapt and overcome. This freedom to explore and grow is one of the greatest gifts of self-reliance, as it allows you to live fully, unencumbered by the fear of being alone or unprepared. A major part of self-reliance is learning to solve your own problems. Rather than relying on others to provide solutions, you start to develop the skills and resources needed to navigate challenges independently. Problem-solving becomes an empowering practice, one that builds confidence and strengthens your sense of self-efficacy. Each problem solved is a reminder that you are capable, that you have the resourcefulness to handle life's complexities. This ability to find solutions, even in difficult situations, is a hallmark of self-reliance and a source of lasting inner strength. Self-reliance also encourages you to set boundaries. When you rely on yourself for validation and support, you no longer feel the need to please others at the expense of your own well-being. Setting boundaries becomes a natural extension of self-respect. You start to protect your time, energy, and resources, focusing on what truly matters to you. Boundaries help you maintain a balanced, fulfilling life, free from the strain of constantly catering to others' demands or expectations. This clarity in setting boundaries strengthens your sense of self, allowing you to live authentically without feeling burdened by the need to conform. Another powerful aspect of self-reliance is the sense of inner peace it brings. When you're not reliant on external factors for your happiness, you're free to cultivate a deep sense of contentment within. This inner peace isn't dependent on circumstances or people. It's a steady presence that remains even in difficult times. Self-reliance allows you to find fulfillment in simply being, without needing external validation or approval. This peace becomes a source of resilience, a calm center that you can return to whenever life feels overwhelming or uncertain. As you build self-reliance, you also develop a deeper understanding of your own worth. You begin to see that your value isn't based on others' opinions or judgments, but on the inherent qualities you hold within. This self-worth becomes a foundation of strength, allowing you to move through life with confidence and purpose. You're no longer swayed by fleeting trends or external standards of success. Instead, you define success on your own terms. This unwavering sense of self-worth creates a life of authenticity and integrity, one that reflects your unique values and aspirations. Self-reliance also fosters a mindset of growth. When you rely on yourself, you become invested in your own development, constantly seeking to learn and improve. This growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities for learning rather than obstacles. You're open to feedback and willing to adapt, knowing that each experience contributes to your personal evolution. This commitment to growth keeps you moving forward, building a life that's rich with knowledge, wisdom, and experience. Self-reliance in this way becomes a journey of continuous improvement, a lifelong process of becoming the best version of yourself. In the end, self-reliance is a profound form of freedom. It allows you to live fully, to embrace each moment without the weight of external demands. You're free to pursue your passions, explore your interests, and create a life that's true to you. This freedom isn't about isolation, it's about empowerment, a confidence in your ability to stand strong and resilient, no matter what life brings. When you become your own best friend, you discover that everything you need to thrive is already within you, waiting to be unlocked. This inner strength, born from self-reliance, becomes the foundation of a life lived with purpose, peace, and unshakable confidence. With self-reliance established, a new layer of freedom awaits, learning to master detachment. Detachment is not about indifference, it's about freeing yourself from the need to cling to specific outcomes, people, or possessions. When we cling too tightly, we suffer. Whether it's a relationship, a material possession, or even a personal achievement, the more we attach our happiness to it, the more power we give it over us. Mastering detachment allows us to flow with life, meeting each moment with peace, regardless of what we have or don't have. It's a skill that brings an inner calm, a steady foundation that remains untouched by external highs and lows. Detachment, as the Stoics saw it, is an active process of shifting our mindset from needing to preferring. Instead of needing things to be a certain way for our happiness, we can learn to appreciate life as it is, finding contentment in the present moment. This mental shift opens up a space for clarity and peace. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you stop reacting to every twist and turn with frustration. Instead, you begin to see each moment as a unique experience, one that contributes to your growth, regardless of whether it fits your expectations. This is the essence of living in harmony with life's natural ebb and flow. One of the first steps toward detachment is understanding how attachments create suffering. When we tie our well-being to things outside our control, we set ourselves up for disappointment. A prized possession might get lost or broken, a relationship may change, or a goal might remain unfulfilled. Each attachment has a way of creating a dependency, a belief that our happiness relies on it. But when we recognize that our peace of mind can exist independently of these things, we begin to detach from them. This realization allows us to appreciate what we have without fearing its loss, to experience love without becoming dependent on it, and to work toward goals without being defined by them. Detachment doesn't mean that you stop caring. Instead, it means that you stop clinging. This distinction is essential. Caring is rooted in love, while clinging comes from fear of loss, rejection, or failure. By practicing detachment, you free yourself from this fear, allowing love, passion, and joy to flow naturally without the constraints of control. For instance, in relationships, detachment means loving someone without the need to possess them, allowing them to be themselves without your expectations defining their worth. This form of love is liberating. It respects the other person's individuality and allows the relationship to flourish without the weight of dependency. Mastering detachment also helps you find balance in your material life. The modern world encourages us to define ourselves by what we own, equating possessions with status and success. But the more we identify with material things, the more they can own us. Detachment teaches us to enjoy material possessions without becoming attached to them. It's about appreciating what we have without letting it become part of our identity. By doing so, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of wanting, acquiring, and fearing loss. Instead of chasing possessions to fill a void, we begin to experience fulfillment in simplicity, finding contentment in less rather than constantly seeking more. This mindset shift allows us to experience each moment without the stress of attachment. When we're not tied to outcomes, we're open to whatever unfolds, able to find beauty and meaning in situations that might otherwise disappoint us. Detachment teaches us to release expectations, to approach each experience as an opportunity for growth rather than a means to a specific end. This doesn't mean we stop setting goals or working toward dreams. It means we pursue them with a lightness, an openness to whatever outcome may come. This flexibility allows us to adapt to change, to meet life with resilience rather than resistance, knowing that our worth and happiness aren't dependent on achieving a specific result. Practicing detachment also helps us develop emotional resilience. When we cling to emotions, we let them define our experience, pulling us from one extreme to another. Detachment, however, allows us to observe our emotions without being consumed by them. Instead of feeling controlled by anger, sadness, or excitement, we learn to witness these feelings as temporary states. By observing our emotions without identifying with them, we cultivate an inner calm, a steadiness that isn't swayed by every passing mood. This emotional resilience is empowering. It allows us to face challenges with a clear mind, to handle difficulties without being overwhelmed by the emotions they provoke. Another important aspect of detachment is learning to let go of past experiences. Many people hold on to past events, whether it's a painful memory or a nostalgic moment of happiness, allowing these experiences to shape their present. Detachment teaches us to appreciate memories without being trapped by them. When we stop clinging to the past, we create space for new experiences, free from the weight of what once was. This doesn't mean forgetting. It means accepting the past as part of our journey without letting it define our future. By letting go, we allow ourselves to move forward, to live fully in the present moment. Detachment also brings freedom from comparison. When we're attached to a certain image of success or validation, we often compare ourselves to others, measuring our worth against their achievements. This constant comparison leads to dissatisfaction, a feeling that we're not enough. But when we detach from these comparisons, we begin to see our unique journey as valid and valuable. We recognize that our path doesn't need to mirror anyone else's, that our worth isn't defined by how we measure up to others. This freedom from comparison allows us to celebrate our own growth, to honor our progress without feeling diminished by others' successes. In relationships, detachment allows for healthier connections. When we're attached to specific outcomes or expectations, we often place pressure on others, hoping they'll fulfill our needs or complete our happiness. Detachment, however, enables us to enjoy relationships without burdening them with unrealistic demands. We can appreciate others for who they are rather than who we wish they'd be. This acceptance fosters genuine connection, as we're no longer trying to mold others to fit our expectations. Instead, we're able to meet each person where they are, creating relationships built on respect and understanding rather than control. Detachment also nurtures a sense of inner peace. When we're not constantly seeking fulfillment from external sources, we find a contentment that's steady and self-sustaining. This inner peace is profound. It allows us to move through life with a sense of ease, unshaken by the ups and downs of daily experiences. We stop depending on others to make us happy, realizing that happiness is an internal state, one that isn't tied to what we have or who we're with. This peace becomes a foundation, a calm center that remains stable even when circumstances change. Embracing detachment helps us approach life with curiosity. Instead of viewing each event as good or bad, we start to see every experience as an opportunity to learn. Detachment allows us to stay open to life's surprises, to approach challenges with a sense of wonder rather than dread. This openness fosters resilience, as we're no longer tied to specific outcomes, but are willing to adapt, to learn, and to grow from each experience. By embracing life's uncertainties with curiosity, we discover a deeper connection to the present, a willingness to explore rather than control. Detachment doesn't mean we lose passion or purpose. In fact, it enhances them. When we're no longer tied to specific results, we're free to pursue our passions with joy rather than anxiety. We're able to work toward our goals without the fear of failure holding us back. This detachment from outcomes allows us to focus on the process, to find fulfillment in the effort itself. It's a liberating way to live, one that brings meaning to our pursuits without the weight of expectation. This mindset makes our efforts feel lighter, more joyful, as we're driven by passion rather than pressured by need. Mastering detachment is about cultivating a life of balance and peace. It's about releasing the need to control, to own, or to demand certain outcomes. This doesn't mean that we stop caring or striving. It means that we approach life with a sense of freedom, an openness that allows us to experience each moment fully. When we embrace detachment, we find that life's beauty lies not in possession or certainty, but in the constant flow of change and growth. We begin to see that our true strength comes not from what we hold on to, but from our ability to let go. This inner freedom becomes a source of joy, a state of mind that finds fulfillment in simplicity and presence. As we let go of the attachments that once weighed us down, we discover a lightness, a clarity that reveals the richness of life exactly as it is. Detachment in this way isn't about distancing ourselves. It's about connecting with life in a deeper, more meaningful way. Free from the constraints of need and expectation, we're able to live fully, to experience each moment with a sense of wonder and peace that transcends any attachment. Having mastered the art of detachment, you're now ready to embrace a mindset that amplifies peace and resilience even further, letting go of complaints and cultivating a focus on positivity and gratitude. Complaining often stems from a feeling of lack or dissatisfaction, a mindset that highlights what's wrong over what's right. But by shifting from complaint to gratitude, you invite a sense of abundance into your life. Gratitude brings a warmth that complaints simply cannot offer, a way to redirect your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. And this shift isn't just about thinking differently, it's about transforming the way you experience and engage with life. When you stop complaining, you're not just staying silent about frustrations, you're retraining your mind to seek solutions over problems, opportunities over setbacks. Complaints have a tendency to cloud judgment, narrowing our focus to what we wish were different. But a mindset rooted in gratitude allows us to see beyond what's lacking. It teaches us to focus on what's working, what's good, and what we can appreciate right now. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it's about building a positive foundation that makes it easier to face difficulties with resilience and resourcefulness. Gratitude shifts your attention to the small, often overlooked moments that bring beauty and meaning. It helps you notice the daily wonders, the warmth of a morning coffee, a friendly conversation, or the comfort of a good book. By appreciating these small details, you create a habit of seeing life through a positive lens. This habit not only boosts your mood, but also strengthens your ability to find joy independently of life's challenges. You're no longer waiting for circumstances to align perfectly to feel good. Instead, you're choosing to find value in what's already here. When you choose gratitude over complaint, you're also strengthening your mind's ability to focus on solutions. Complaints often highlight problems without addressing ways to improve them, but gratitude allows you to approach each situation from a place of possibility. For instance, if you're frustrated with a work project rather than complaining about the workload, gratitude can help you reframe the situation. You might focus on the opportunity it brings to learn, the chance to contribute, or the skills you're developing. This shift opens your mind to practical solutions, turning frustration into motivation. Another powerful effect of gratitude is the impact it has on relationships. Complaining about others often creates distance, making it hard to build trust or connection. Gratitude, however, fosters appreciation, helping you to see the positive qualities in others rather than fixating on their shortcomings. By expressing thanks for what others bring into your life, you strengthen bonds and encourage a more supportive, understanding environment. This approach doesn't mean ignoring conflicts. It simply creates a foundation of appreciation that makes resolving issues smoother and less confrontational. Gratitude also enhances resilience. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're less likely to be overwhelmed by setbacks. Challenges become less daunting as you're able to see them in the context of all the positives around you. For example, if you're going through a difficult time, gratitude can serve as a reminder of the strength and support you already have. This perspective provides a steady foundation that helps you weather storms with calm and hope, knowing that, despite challenges, there is much to be thankful for. This practice of gratitude builds mental strength, helping you to move through life's difficulties with a sense of stability. Choosing gratitude over complaint also encourages you to take responsibility for your experience. Complaining often involves assigning blame, whether to circumstances, others, or even yourself. Gratitude, on the other hand, empowers you to see your role in creating a positive life. By focusing on what's within your control to appreciate and improve, you shift from feeling powerless to feeling capable. This mindset helps you to see each day as a chance to build something meaningful, to contribute positively rather than dwelling on what isn't right. Gratitude in this way strengthens your sense of purpose and accountability. In adopting gratitude, you're also inviting a sense of abundance. Complaints often stem from a scarcity mindset, a feeling that something essential is missing. Gratitude reveals that there's already enough, that life offers plenty to appreciate. By focusing on what you have rather than what's lacking, you cultivate a feeling of contentment. This sense of abundance reduces the desire for more, allowing you to find fulfillment in the present rather than constantly seeking external satisfaction. This shift toward abundance makes life feel richer, fuller, and more rewarding, without the need to constantly strive for more. Practicing gratitude also rewires the brain to seek positivity naturally. The more you focus on gratitude, the more your mind begins to notice things to be thankful for. This practice creates a positive feedback loop. Each moment of gratitude reinforces the next, making it easier to find joy and appreciation in each day. This rewiring isn't just a mental exercise, it's a transformative shift that changes how you experience life, making each moment feel more vibrant and worthwhile. Gratitude also creates space for growth. Complaining often keeps us stuck, focused on what's wrong without moving forward. Gratitude, however, opens us up to learning, helping us to see challenges as opportunities for personal development. By appreciating what each experience brings, you're able to grow from it, gaining insights that complaints would otherwise obscure. For instance, if you're faced with a difficult project, gratitude can help you focus on the skills you're building or the lessons you're learning, shifting your perspective from frustration to growth. In moments of stress, gratitude can act as a calming force. When you're feeling overwhelmed, shifting focus to things you appreciate can provide relief, a way to ground yourself in the present. This practice doesn't erase stress, but it gives you a sense of control, a reminder that there is good even in difficult times. By focusing on gratitude, you're able to find balance, to calm the mind and move through stress with clarity rather than being consumed by it. This calming effect makes gratitude a powerful tool for maintaining peace, even in the midst of life's pressures. Choosing gratitude also builds humility, a recognition of the many things we often take for granted. By acknowledging the support, opportunities, and moments that enrich your life, you develop a sense of humility, a reminder that not everything is within our control or solely a result of personal effort. This humility creates a deeper appreciation for life, one that is rooted in respect and wonder for all that life provides. This shift toward humility fosters connection, a sense of unity with others and the world, as you recognize the shared sources of joy and gratitude. Gratitude further empowers you to create positive experiences for others. When you appreciate what you have, you're more likely to share it, to spread kindness, and to lift others up. This outward expression of gratitude reinforces your own sense of well-being, creating a cycle of giving and receiving that enriches both you and those around you. By practicing gratitude, you're not just improving your own life, you're contributing to a more positive world, inspiring others to see and share the goodness in their own lives. Gratitude brings joy. Complaints weigh down the spirit, creating a cycle of dissatisfaction. Gratitude, however, uplifts, creating a lightness, a happiness that isn't dependent on perfection. This joy is rooted in presence, in the ability to savor each moment fully. When you stop waiting for ideal conditions to feel good, you open up to a lasting happiness, a peace that comes from appreciating life exactly as it is. This joy isn't fleeting. It's a steady, enduring contentment that enriches each day. By cultivating gratitude, you're creating a life filled with peace, purpose, and positivity. Complaints lose their grip, replaced by a mindset that seeks solutions, finds beauty in the ordinary, and meets challenges with a resilient heart. This shift isn't just about being positive. It's about building a life that feels whole, connected, and full of meaning. Gratitude transforms your experience, turning each day into a chance to celebrate, to grow, and to live with a sense of fulfillment that complaints could never provide. With gratitude as a foundation, we're now ready to explore the power of sacrifice, not as a form of deprivation, but as a conscious choice to invest in a future of real fulfillment. Sacrifice often sounds daunting, but at its core, it's about choosing long-term growth over fleeting pleasure, depth over surface-level satisfaction. Sacrifice isn't about denying yourself joy. It's about understanding which joys are worth cultivating and which ones might derail your progress. When we embrace the value of sacrifice, we're saying yes to a life that prioritizes lasting purpose and fulfillment over temporary comforts. Choosing sacrifice is a way of honoring your future self. In moments of decision, there's a tendency to gravitate toward immediate rewards, the little pleasures that bring comfort now but don't contribute to long-term goals. But when you consciously choose to give up these short-term pleasures, you're freeing up time, energy, and resources for pursuits that bring genuine, lasting rewards. Each small choice to forego a fleeting pleasure becomes an investment in a richer, more meaningful future, one built not on passing indulgences, but on purposeful action and steady progress. One way to embrace sacrifice is by redefining comfort. Comfort often feels harmless, yet too much of it can lead to stagnation. When we stay in our comfort zones, we miss out on the growth that comes from challenging ourselves. By willingly stepping away from comfort, you're creating space for personal growth. It might mean giving up extra hours of relaxation to work toward a skill, or foregoing the latest trends to save for something more meaningful. These choices, while difficult in the moment, build resilience, teaching you that true growth often lies just beyond the edge of comfort. Sacrificing short-term pleasures also cultivates discipline. Discipline is about doing what's necessary, even when it's not easy, and it's essential for achieving long-term goals. When you learn to say no to immediate desires, you're strengthening the muscle of discipline, making it easier to stay focused and committed to your deeper aspirations. Each act of discipline builds upon the last, creating a foundation that makes it easier to stay on track, even when temptations arise. This kind of self-control isn't about restriction. It's about giving yourself the freedom to choose what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. Sacrifice also brings clarity to your goals. When you're constantly indulging in temporary pleasures, it can be hard to see what you're working toward. But when you start prioritizing long-term fulfillment, your goals become sharper, more defined. By letting go of distractions, you're able to focus on what genuinely matters to you. This focus allows you to pursue your goals with intention and purpose, making it easier to stay committed to the path you've chosen. Sacrifice becomes a way of refining your vision, helping you to see clearly what you want and what you're willing to give up to achieve it. In choosing sacrifice, you're also learning the art of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the lure of immediate rewards in favor of something more meaningful down the road. This skill is crucial for personal growth, as it teaches you patience, persistence, and self-control. When you master delayed gratification, you're no longer swayed by every passing urge or desire. Instead, you're focused on the bigger picture, willing to wait for rewards that bring real, lasting satisfaction. This mindset shift changes the way you approach challenges, as you're no longer looking for quick fixes, but are committed to the process of steady improvement. Another benefit of embracing sacrifice is the development of mental toughness. When you're willing to forego short-term pleasures, you're building resilience, teaching yourself that you can handle discomfort in the pursuit of something greater. Mental toughness is essential for overcoming obstacles, as it gives you the strength to keep going even when the path is hard. Each sacrifice you make reinforces this resilience, creating a mindset that isn't deterred by difficulties or setbacks. This toughness becomes a powerful ally, helping you to stay focused and driven no matter what challenges arise. Sacrifice also brings a sense of empowerment. When you're in control of your choices, willingly giving up what doesn't serve your long-term goals, you feel a sense of freedom and agency over your life. You're no longer a passive participant waiting for life to happen. You're actively shaping your future with each decision. This empowerment boosts self-esteem, as you're able to look back on your sacrifices with pride, knowing that you've chosen growth and progress over ease and comfort. This sense of ownership over your choices strengthens your commitment to your path, making it easier to stay true to your vision. In a world that often promotes instant gratification, choosing sacrifice sets you apart, creating a life that's meaningful rather than just comfortable. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for immediate results, but real success comes from consistency and perseverance. By prioritizing long-term goals over short-term desires, you're building a life of substance, one that's rooted in real achievements rather than fleeting moments of satisfaction. This approach allows you to focus on what truly matters, creating a life that's rewarding and aligned with your deeper values. Embracing sacrifice also fosters gratitude. When you're not constantly seeking the next pleasure, you start to appreciate what you already have. Each choice to forego a comfort creates space for gratitude, a reminder that fulfillment isn't found in excess, but in appreciation. By focusing on what you're grateful for, you build a mindset that's rich in contentment, a life that values meaning over material gain. This gratitude not only enhances your sense of well-being, but also deepens your connection to your goals, reminding you why you're willing to make sacrifices in the first place. Choosing sacrifice also teaches you the value of hard work. When you're willing to put in effort rather than seeking shortcuts, you build a strong work ethic, a commitment to giving your best. This dedication becomes a defining trait, one that shapes your approach to every task, challenge, and goal. Hard work becomes a source of pride, a reminder that you're capable of achieving great things through effort and perseverance. This mindset shift makes each accomplishment feel more rewarding, as you're able to look back on the journey and appreciate the work that went into it. Sacrifice also helps to create a sense of purpose. When you're willing to give up immediate comforts, it's often because you're working towards something meaningful. This sense of purpose becomes a driving force, a reminder of why you're on this path. Purpose gives life a sense of direction, a feeling that each day is contributing to a larger goal. This focus makes it easier to stay motivated, as you're no longer distracted by superficial pleasures, but are guided by a deep sense of intention. Purpose turns sacrifice into something beautiful, a testament to your commitment to living a life of depth and fulfillment. In the end, sacrifice is about building a life that's aligned with your highest values. It's a way of choosing quality over quantity, depth over surface-level satisfaction. Each choice to forego a temporary pleasure is a step toward a future that's rich in meaning, a life that reflects who you truly are and what you stand for. By embracing sacrifice, you're creating a legacy of strength, resilience, and purpose, a life that's defined not by what you took, but by what you gave. And that, in itself, is a reward that goes beyond any temporary comfort. As we deepen our commitment to a life of purpose and resilience, there's a natural shift that comes from within, turning from the search for external validation toward building a deep, fulfilling relationship with ourselves. For many, love and acceptance are found through others, yet when we chase love outside ourselves, it often leads to disappointment and unmet expectations. True contentment, however, comes from nurturing an inner sense of self-worth and connection that isn't dependent on anyone else. When you cultivate this inner contentment, you find a type of love that is stable, unshakable, and enriching in ways that external relationships alone cannot provide. The journey of finding contentment within starts with learning to appreciate and embrace your own presence. Often, we seek others to fill gaps or provide the reassurance we think we lack. But when you cultivate self-acceptance, you discover that you are enough on your own, fully capable of offering yourself the love and support you might have previously sought from others. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or rejecting relationships. It means creating a foundation of inner peace and fulfillment that supports you regardless of your relationship status. When you're at ease with yourself, relationships become a choice rather than a need, enriching your life without defining it. A core part of this journey is developing self-compassion. Many people are quick to offer kindness to others, but struggle to show the same understanding to themselves. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same gentleness and empathy that you would offer a friend. It's about forgiving your own mistakes, acknowledging your worth, and celebrating your strengths. This self-compassion creates a nurturing inner voice, a source of encouragement that keeps you grounded and resilient. When you learn to be kind to yourself, you become your own steady source of love, one that doesn't waver based on external approval or criticism. Another essential aspect of inner contentment is learning to embrace solitude. Solitude, when approached with openness, can be deeply enriching. It's a time to connect with your thoughts, explore your passions, and reflect on your values. Rather than filling every moment with distractions, solitude invites you to be fully present with yourself. Through this practice, you build a stronger sense of self, an understanding of who you are beyond the roles or relationships that may have defined you. This connection to yourself provides a sense of completeness that no external relationship can replicate. Developing a fulfilling relationship with yourself also involves setting healthy boundaries. When you rely on others for validation, it can be easy to let their needs and expectations shape your actions. But by creating boundaries, you're honoring your own values and well-being. Boundaries are a way of respecting your own needs without sacrificing them to meet others' expectations. This approach strengthens your self-respect, reminding you that your happiness doesn't depend on others' approval. Boundaries also make it easier to form healthy relationships, as you're approaching others from a place of wholeness rather than seeking someone to complete you. Another powerful step in finding inner contentment is shifting from self-criticism to self-acceptance. Many people are their own harshest critics, constantly focusing on perceived flaws or shortcomings. But this mindset only creates a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. Self-acceptance, on the other hand, is about recognizing your humanity, embracing both strengths and weaknesses without judgment. This acceptance doesn't mean ignoring areas for growth. It means viewing yourself with kindness and understanding. When you let go of perfectionism and accept yourself fully, you create a sense of peace and confidence that external validation can't match. Self-love also involves celebrating your unique qualities. Often, people look to others to feel special or valued. But when you learn to appreciate what makes you unique, you stop needing others to affirm your worth. This appreciation creates a deep sense of self-confidence, a belief in your own value that isn't dependent on anyone else. By recognizing your unique strengths and qualities, you're able to approach life with authenticity, embracing your individuality rather than seeking approval through conformity. This self-celebration is empowering. It allows you to be true to yourself, to live according to your values without the fear of rejection. Another element of inner contentment is learning to fulfill your own emotional needs. Many times, people seek relationships to feel loved, supported, or understood. But when you can provide these things for yourself, you approach relationships from a place of abundance rather than lack. By taking care of your emotional well-being, you develop a steady source of inner peace that doesn't depend on others. This doesn't mean rejecting support from loved ones. It means not relying on them to define your worth. When you're able to meet your own needs, you're free to enjoy relationships without feeling dependent on them for happiness. Inner contentment also involves cultivating self-trust. Trusting yourself means believing in your ability to make good decisions, to handle challenges, and to pursue your dreams. When you look to others for direction, it's often because you doubt your own judgment. But by building self-trust, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and competent. This self-trust allows you to stand firm in your choices, to face life's uncertainties with confidence. It frees you from the need for constant reassurance, creating a foundation of inner strength that supports you through life's ups and downs. A fulfilling relationship with yourself also requires a sense of purpose. When you rely on others for fulfillment, it's often because there's a gap, a feeling that something is missing. By connecting with your purpose, you fill this gap with meaning, creating a life that feels rich and complete. Purpose gives you direction, a reason to grow and evolve, independent of any relationship status. This sense of purpose keeps you focused on your goals, helping you to find joy in personal achievements and growth. Purpose transforms loneliness into solitude, a time to work toward your dreams and live fully, regardless of external circumstances. Embracing inner contentment also allows you to release the need for validation. Validation from others can feel good, but when it becomes a primary source of self-worth, it limits your freedom. By finding validation within, you free yourself from the constant search for approval. This inner validation reinforces your sense of self, allowing you to make choices that align with your values rather than seeking to please others. It creates a quiet confidence, a belief in your worth that doesn't fluctuate based on others' opinions. Building a fulfilling relationship with yourself also encourages a growth mindset. When you look to others to fill emotional gaps, you often miss opportunities for personal development. But by nurturing a relationship with yourself, you commit to growth, to continuously learning and evolving. This growth mindset turns challenges into opportunities, helping you to see each experience as a step toward a stronger, more resilient self. This focus on growth makes life feel richer, a journey of self-discovery and improvement that isn't reliant on anyone else. Inner contentment fosters a sense of joy and peace. When you're no longer chasing love or approval, you're free to experience life fully. Each day becomes an opportunity to connect with yourself, to explore your interests, and to find happiness in simply being. This joy is stable, unaffected by external circumstances, as it comes from a deep connection to your own worth. By finding this peace within, you create a life that's rich in meaning, a life where love is a choice rather than a need. This contentment is a gift you give yourself, one that brings stability, confidence, and a quiet fulfillment that cannot be found outside of you. In the end, choosing to cultivate inner contentment transforms your relationship with yourself and with others. You're no longer searching for someone to complete you. Instead, you're living as a whole, fulfilled individual. This wholeness creates a foundation for authentic connections, allowing you to love freely without the need to cling or control. You become your own source of strength, love, and support, creating a life that's rich in peace, purpose, and joy. Now that you've anchored a sense of inner contentment, there's a new call rising, a call to question, to see beyond the comfortable paths that most follow, and instead carve your own way. Independent thinking is a bold choice in a world often driven by conformity and societal expectations. Choosing to challenge the majority isn't just about resisting trends. It's about discovering what truly resonates with your values and living in alignment with who you are. When you step away from the crowd, you give yourself the freedom to explore your thoughts, embrace your individuality, and live authentically, no longer tethered to what others believe you should be. Independent thinking begins with curiosity. Curiosity isn't merely about gathering information. It's the active desire to understand deeply, to see beyond surface beliefs. When you're curious, you start to question why things are done a certain way, why certain rules or norms hold such power, and whether they truly reflect your beliefs or simply the beliefs of others. This curiosity opens your mind, helping you look past assumptions and develop a genuine understanding of your values. Rather than accepting ideas without question, you start examining each one with a critical eye, embracing those that feel right to you and letting go of those that don't. Challenging societal norms requires courage. It's often easier to blend in, to follow the majority without questioning its direction, but courage allows you to break free from these confines. Courage doesn't mean dismissing others' beliefs. It means being willing to stand for your own, even if they differ from the mainstream. By embracing courage, you develop the confidence to express yourself openly, unafraid of judgment or rejection. This courage builds over time, each step reinforcing your independence until you no longer need external validation to feel secure. The freedom to live by your own principles becomes its own reward, a life led with integrity rather than conformity. Another aspect of independent thinking is self-reflection. Many people go through life without truly understanding why they make certain choices or hold certain beliefs. Self-reflection allows you to explore these areas, uncovering what's yours and what's been shaped by external influences. By examining your beliefs, you begin to see which ones align with your values and which ones you've adopted without question. This reflection helps you clear away beliefs that no longer serve you, making room for a life that feels genuine and aligned with your core self. Self-reflection becomes a way to connect deeply with your inner truth, grounding you in a sense of purpose and clarity. Living by your principles often requires a willingness to embrace discomfort. When you deviate from societal norms, you may face criticism, misunderstanding, or even resistance from those who prefer the status quo. But by accepting this discomfort, you become stronger, less swayed by others' opinions. Each instance of discomfort becomes a reminder of your commitment to authenticity, a testament to the life you're building based on your values rather than popular opinion. This resilience allows you to stay true to your path, even when it's challenging, building a life that's meaningful and aligned with who you truly are. Thinking independently also involves a willingness to stand alone at times. Independence often leads to choices that others may not understand, but standing alone is a powerful act of self-respect. It signifies that you value your truth over acceptance, that you're willing to live by what feels right, even if it doesn't fit with others' expectations. This stance doesn't mean rejecting connection. It simply means that you're choosing relationships that respect your individuality. When you're comfortable standing alone, you invite connections that are built on respect and authenticity rather than the need to fit in. Independent thinking also fosters creativity. When you're not bound by conventional ideas, you're free to explore new perspectives, approaches, and solutions. This freedom fuels creativity, allowing you to see possibilities where others might see limitations. Creativity isn't just about artistic expression. It's a way of approaching life with an open mind, ready to experiment and explore without fear of failure. This creativity allows you to shape a life that's unique, one that reflects your individuality and creativity rather than following a prescribed path. By thinking outside the box, you discover ideas, passions, and solutions that enrich your experience and deepen your sense of fulfillment. By challenging societal norms, you also cultivate empathy. When you step back from mainstream thinking, you're more likely to see the diversity in others' perspectives, understanding that everyone's path is unique. This empathy allows you to connect with others without judgment, to appreciate their differences without feeling the need to conform or compete. Empathy becomes a bridge, allowing you to build connections based on mutual respect rather than agreement. This approach fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships, as you're able to see others as individuals rather than as reflections of societal roles or expectations. Choosing independence also deepens your self-respect. When you live by your own principles, you reinforce your belief in yourself, knowing that you're true to your values. This self-respect doesn't depend on others' opinions or approval. It's a sense of worth that comes from knowing you're living authentically. This self-respect enhances your confidence, making it easier to face challenges and setbacks with grace. By respecting yourself, you create a foundation of strength that doesn't waver with external circumstances, allowing you to approach life with a steady sense of purpose. Independent thinking also encourages a growth mindset. When you're willing to question norms, you're open to learning and evolving rather than staying stagnant. This growth mindset allows you to view each experience as an opportunity to learn, to refine your beliefs and actions. You're not confined by rigid ideas. Instead, you're constantly expanding, adapting, and improving. This openness to growth enriches your life, making each day an opportunity to deepen your understanding and broaden your perspective. In choosing independence, you also gain clarity about your values. Many societal norms are rooted in values that may not align with your own. By questioning these norms, you're able to define your values with precision, understanding what truly matters to you. This clarity allows you to make choices that reflect your values, creating a life that's aligned with your deepest beliefs. This alignment brings a sense of peace and fulfillment, as you're no longer swayed by conflicting messages, but are guided by a clear understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Independent thinking also brings a sense of freedom. When you're not bound by societal expectations, you're free to explore life on your own terms. This freedom allows you to pursue passions, explore interests, and create a life that's uniquely yours. You're no longer limited by what's expected. Instead, you're free to create a path that reflects your true self. This freedom brings a sense of joy and fulfillment, a reminder that life is meant to be lived fully, without the constraints of conformity. By challenging societal norms, you're also embracing authenticity. Authenticity isn't about being different for the sake of it. It's about living in a way that feels true to you. This authenticity brings a sense of integrity, a life that's aligned with your values and beliefs. When you live authentically, you create a life that feels fulfilling, one that's rich in meaning and depth. This authenticity becomes a source of strength, allowing you to face life's challenges with a sense of purpose and confidence. In the end, choosing to think independently and question societal norms creates a life of depth, meaning, and fulfillment. You're no longer following a path that's been laid out for you. You're carving your own, one that's aligned with your true self. This path brings a sense of joy, resilience, and freedom, a reminder that life is meant to be lived fully, without the constraints of conformity. Embracing this journey, you find the courage to live authentically, to stand firm in your beliefs, and to create a life that's true to you. With a commitment to independent thinking, the journey continues into a skill that is often underestimated, yet incredibly powerful: patience. Patience is more than waiting. It's a profound strength that allows you to trust in the process and hold steady as life unfolds. In a world that pushes for quick results and immediate gratification, developing patience is a true superpower. This ability not only builds resilience, but fosters a sense of peace, as it teaches you to let go of urgency and to understand that what truly matters is worth the time and effort. Patience begins with the recognition that meaningful change and growth do not happen overnight. Many people set ambitious goals only to feel frustrated when progress is slow. But when you embrace patience, you're giving yourself permission to grow steadily, to take each step with intention rather than haste. This slow and steady approach builds a lasting foundation, one that allows change to root deeply. By committing to patience, you're allowing your efforts to mature, creating outcomes that are both durable and fulfilling. Practicing patience also fosters a sense of calm in your daily life. When you're constantly in a rush, it's easy to feel anxious or overwhelmed by everything you hope to accomplish. But patience allows you to focus on one thing at a time, embracing the present moment without feeling pressured by what's to come. This focus not only increases productivity, but also brings a sense of satisfaction, as you're able to engage fully in each task without being distracted by the need to move on to the next. Patience in this way becomes a form of mindfulness, a steady presence that lets you experience life without the stress of constant forward motion. Patience also strengthens resilience. In the face of setbacks, those who lack patience often feel discouraged, viewing obstacles as signs of failure. But patience helps you see these moments differently. Instead of feeling defeated, you begin to see challenges as temporary and surmountable. Each setback becomes a chance to practice patience, a reminder that growth includes both progress and pauses. This perspective builds resilience, teaching you to stay committed to your path, even when things don't go as planned. Patience, therefore, becomes a powerful tool for endurance, allowing you to face difficulties with calm and determination. Another profound effect of patience is the way it deepens self-trust. When you're patient with yourself, you're acknowledging that growth takes time and that you are capable of moving through it, no matter how long it takes. This self-trust becomes a foundation of confidence, a belief in your own ability to stay committed even when results are delayed. By trusting the process, you stop second-guessing yourself, learning instead to rely on your inner strength. This trust reinforces your commitment, allowing you to pursue your goals without the constant need for immediate results or validation. In relationships, patience fosters understanding and empathy. Impatience often leads to frustration with others, creating distance and misunderstandings. But when you approach relationships with patience, You're giving others the time and space they need to express themselves, to grow, and to be themselves without pressure. This patience deepens your connections, allowing you to see others with compassion rather than judgment. You become a steady presence in their lives, a person who can be relied upon not to rush them, but to meet them where they are. This approach strengthens bonds, creating relationships that are supportive and rooted in mutual respect. Patience also enhances your ability to make sound decisions. When you're in a hurry, it's easy to make choices impulsively without fully considering the long-term impact. But by practicing patience, you allow yourself to weigh your options carefully, to think through the consequences, and choose the path that aligns with your values and goals. This approach to decision-making builds wisdom, as you're able to see beyond the immediate situation and consider what will be best in the long run. Patience in decision-making isn't about delaying action. It's about making choices that are thoughtful and intentional. Cultivating patience also reduces stress. Impatience creates a constant state of tension, a feeling that you're never quite where you need to be. But patience lets you release this tension, embracing each moment as it comes without the pressure of rushing toward the next. This mindset shift creates a sense of inner peace, a relief from the constant drive to be somewhere else. Patience allows you to live fully in the present, to enjoy each stage of the journey without feeling that you're falling behind. This peace becomes a steady foundation, a calm presence that supports you through life's ups and downs. Patience also brings a greater appreciation for small victories. When you're always focused on the end goal, it's easy to overlook the progress you're making along the way. But patience teaches you to celebrate each step, to recognize that even small accomplishments are part of the bigger picture. This appreciation creates a sense of fulfillment, as you're able to find joy in each stage of growth rather than waiting for a single final result. Each small victory becomes a source of motivation, reinforcing your commitment and reminding you of the value of steady progress. In the pursuit of patience, you also develop humility. Patience requires an acceptance that not everything will happen on your timeline, a recognition that life unfolds in its own way. This humility allows you to let go of control, to trust that things will happen when they're meant to. This surrender is not a form of giving up. It's an understanding that true strength lies in accepting what you cannot rush. This humility fosters a sense of harmony with life, allowing you to move through each moment with grace, knowing that everything has its time and place. Practicing patience also teaches you to value persistence over perfection. When you're impatient, it's tempting to seek quick fixes or shortcuts that promise immediate results. But these often lead to superficial outcomes that don't last. Patience, however, values persistence, the steady, consistent effort that builds real, lasting change. By embracing patience, you're choosing a path of steady growth rather than chasing perfection. This mindset allows you to approach each task with diligence, knowing that true success is built through persistence rather than haste. Patience also nurtures a deeper connection to your purpose. When you're patient, you're willing to work toward long-term goals without being discouraged by delays or detours. This dedication to purpose strengthens your resolve, allowing you to stay focused on what truly matters. By embracing patience, you're creating a life that's aligned with your values, one that isn't easily swayed by setbacks or distractions. This focus on purpose creates a sense of fulfillment, a reminder that each step, no matter how small, is part of a larger vision. Patience enhances gratitude. When you're not rushing toward the next thing, you're able to appreciate where you are right now. Patience allows you to see each moment as valuable, a part of the journey that deserves your attention and gratitude. This appreciation deepens your connection to life, helping you to find joy in the present rather than constantly looking to the future. Gratitude and patience work hand in hand, each reinforcing the other, creating a mindset that values every stage of growth. In choosing patience, you're embracing a way of life that values depth over speed, fulfillment over urgency. This superpower allows you to move through life with resilience, wisdom, and a sense of peace that is unshaken by the need for instant results. With patience, you're creating a life that's rich in meaning, one that values each moment, each step, as part of a beautiful, ongoing journey. After embracing patience and learning to trust in the slow, meaningful progress that leads to real change, there's a natural next step: minimalism. Minimalism isn't simply about getting rid of things. It's a practice of freeing yourself from what no longer serves you, of uncovering the peace that comes from focusing on what truly matters. In a world that constantly urges you to acquire more, minimalism offers the liberating alternative of simplicity. By choosing to live with less, you're not sacrificing abundance. You're cultivating a richness that comes from living intentionally, with clarity, and without the weight of excess. Minimalism starts by letting go of the unnecessary. Many of us fill our lives with possessions, habits, and even emotions that don't add value, yet we hold on to them out of habit or attachment. Minimalism invites you to question each item, each commitment, and each thought. Does it enrich your life, or is it just taking up space? By letting go of what isn't essential, you create room for what truly matters. This process isn't about restriction, but about opening up to the freedom that comes from simplicity. Each item or thought released is a step toward clarity and focus, creating a life that feels spacious and purposeful. Decluttering your physical space is often the first step toward minimalism. Physical clutter can overwhelm the senses, creating a feeling of chaos that spills into every aspect of life. By simplifying your surroundings, you reduce distractions and create an environment that fosters calm and productivity. Each item you choose to keep becomes meaningful, a conscious choice rather than an unconscious accumulation. This clarity in your environment reflects a deeper clarity in your mind, making it easier to focus, rest, and feel at peace in your own space. Minimalism in your surroundings is a powerful first step toward a life of intentional simplicity. Practicing minimalism also encourages a shift in mindset, from accumulation to appreciation. When you let go of the drive to constantly acquire, you begin to appreciate what you already have. This shift reduces the urge to seek happiness through possessions, teaching you that true fulfillment comes from within. By valuing the essentials over the excess, you develop a sense of gratitude for each item and experience in your life. This gratitude isn't based on the novelty of new things, but on the deeper satisfaction of living with what you genuinely need and value. Minimalism also encourages you to let go of emotional clutter. Emotional clutter, old grudges, unresolved feelings, and unproductive thoughts takes up mental space, creating stress and preventing peace. By practicing emotional minimalism, you're choosing to release these burdens, making room for thoughts and feelings that uplift and inspire. This process may involve forgiving past mistakes, letting go of negative self-talk, or releasing unrealistic expectations. Each emotional burden released brings you closer to a state of inner peace, a mind uncluttered by unnecessary worries or regrets. This emotional clarity allows you to approach life with a calm, open heart, unburdened by past or imagined obstacles. Another aspect of minimalism is freeing yourself from the constant drive to impress others. Many of us accumulate material possessions, obligations, or even opinions out of a need to fit in or gain approval. Minimalism encourages you to evaluate your choices based on your own values, not on external expectations. By letting go of the need to impress, you're reclaiming your freedom, living for yourself rather than for others' approval. This independence creates a sense of empowerment, a reminder that your worth isn't defined by what you own or how others perceive you. By choosing simplicity, you're choosing authenticity, a life that reflects your true self rather than a projection for others. Minimalism also simplifies your schedule. Many people fill their days with commitments, leaving little time for rest or reflection. By choosing to focus only on activities that align with your goals and values, you're creating a schedule that supports, rather than drains, you. This approach isn't about doing less for the sake of it. It's about prioritizing what's meaningful and letting go of the unnecessary. By saying no to commitments that don't serve you, you're able to say yes to what truly matters. This simplicity in your schedule creates time for rest, creativity, and connection, turning each day into a balanced and fulfilling experience. Minimalism also nurtures mindfulness. When you're surrounded by excess, it's easy to become overwhelmed and distracted. But by simplifying your life, you create space to be present, to engage fully with each moment, without the noise of clutter or the drive to acquire more. This mindfulness enhances your ability to savor life, to experience each moment without the pull of future desires or past regrets. Minimalism and mindfulness work hand in hand, each reinforcing the other, creating a life that's rich in awareness and appreciation for the present. In the process of simplifying, minimalism teaches you to value experiences over possessions. Many people fill their lives with objects, thinking that they'll bring happiness, but true joy often comes from experiences, moments of connection, learning, and growth. By shifting your focus from acquiring objects to creating experiences, you're investing in memories and relationships rather than things. This shift enriches your life, creating a sense of fulfillment that material possessions alone cannot provide. Each experience becomes a part of your story, a meaningful addition to a life lived fully and intentionally. Minimalism also deepens your connection to purpose. When you're not distracted by the excess, it becomes easier to focus on what truly matters to you. By clearing away the unimportant, you're creating space for the goals, passions, and values that define you. This focus on purpose creates a life that feels meaningful, one that's guided by intention rather than external influences. Minimalism in this way isn't about restriction, it's about liberation, a liberation from the distractions that prevent you from living a life that reflects your deepest values. Choosing minimalism also fosters contentment. Many people chase happiness through possessions, thinking that the next item will bring satisfaction. But minimalism teaches you that contentment doesn't come from accumulation. It comes from appreciating what you already have. This contentment brings a sense of peace, a freedom from the constant desire for more. By valuing simplicity, you're able to find joy in the present, a joy that isn't dependent on acquiring more, but on the appreciation of what is already there. This shift from wanting to contentment creates a life that feels rich, not in possessions, but in peace. Minimalism also encourages you to build stronger relationships. When you're not focused on material possessions, you're free to invest in meaningful connections with others. By letting go of the need to impress or compete, you're able to form relationships based on genuine understanding and shared values. This simplicity in your approach to relationships creates bonds that are deep and fulfilling, connections that add richness to your life without the complications of status or comparison. Minimalism in relationships means valuing people for who they are, not for what they have or what they can do for you. In embracing minimalism, you're also learning the power of letting go. Many of us hold on to things, both material and emotional, out of fear or habit. But minimalism teaches that letting go isn't a loss, it's a gain. Each item or thought released is a step toward freedom, a life that's lighter and more open to new possibilities. This practice of letting go creates a mindset of abundance, a belief that you have enough and that life is rich without excess. This abundance is not measured in things, but in peace, clarity, and space to grow. Ultimately, minimalism is about creating a life that feels meaningful and intentional. It's a choice to live with clarity, focusing on what truly enriches your life rather than on what others say you should have or do. This simplicity brings a sense of fulfillment, a reminder that life's richness doesn't come from excess, but from the depth of experience. In choosing minimalism, you're choosing a life of purpose, one that values meaning over material and finds joy in simplicity. As we let go of material and emotional clutter, clearing our minds and spaces, the next step is to address the inner dialogue that shapes our experiences daily, our thoughts. Negative thoughts can become a powerful barrier to growth, casting a shadow over even the simplest pleasures. But with practice, you can learn to reframe your mind for positivity, cultivating a mindset that encourages resilience, growth, and a deeper sense of peace. Neutralizing negative thoughts isn't about ignoring challenges or struggles. It's about recognizing your ability to approach them with strength and an unwavering sense of calm. A key part of reframing your thoughts is learning to identify patterns of negativity. Often, negative thinking becomes a habit, an automatic response to challenges or discomfort. By becoming aware of these patterns, you start to catch these thoughts as they arise. This awareness is the first step to change. Once you recognize a negative thought, you gain the power to choose a different perspective. Through this process, you're no longer at the mercy of self-doubt or frustration. Instead, you're actively shaping a mindset that supports you, one that seeks solutions and growth rather than becoming trapped in discouragement. Stoic philosophy offers powerful tools for neutralizing negativity by focusing on what you can control. When you find yourself caught in a negative thought, consider whether it's within your control or not. Many negative thoughts stem from a desire to control situations or outcomes that are simply beyond our reach. By focusing on what you can control, your actions, responses, and perspective, you're able to let go of stress over the uncontrollable. This practice brings a sense of peace as you shift from wishing things were different to actively working on what's within your power to change. Reframing negative thoughts also involves shifting from judgment to observation. When you encounter a challenge, instead of immediately labeling it as bad or stressful, try to view it as an experience without judgment. This shift allows you to see situations with a clearer mind, recognizing that challenges are simply part of life. By observing rather than judging, you're able to approach each situation with curiosity rather than fear. This perspective allows you to find lessons and opportunities in every experience, creating a mindset that views even difficulties as valuable parts of growth. Another effective technique for neutralizing negativity is practicing gratitude. Gratitude helps you focus on what's good, even in the face of challenges. By training your mind to look for positives, you create a buffer against negativity, a foundation of appreciation that strengthens your resilience. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties, but it shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from frustration to appreciation. This mindset becomes a powerful antidote to negativity, as it reminds you of the many things that bring value to your life, even during hard times. Visualization is also a valuable tool in reframing thoughts. When faced with a negative thought, consider visualizing a positive outcome or a solution. This visualization isn't about ignoring problems. It's about reinforcing your belief in your ability to overcome them. By visualizing success, you create a mental image of positivity and possibility, helping you replace doubts with confidence. This mental practice strengthens your sense of agency, reminding you that you're capable of facing challenges with creativity and determination. In reframing negative thoughts, it's also helpful to replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Negative thoughts often arise from a harsh inner critic, a voice that focuses on shortcomings and mistakes. But by practicing self-compassion, you're learning to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. This shift doesn't mean ignoring areas for improvement. It means approaching them with a mindset that encourages growth rather than discouragement. Self-compassion creates a supportive inner dialogue, a reminder that growth is a journey and that setbacks are simply part of learning. Another powerful approach to managing negativity is questioning the validity of each thought. Not every thought reflects reality. Sometimes negative thoughts are based on assumptions, fears, or past experiences that no longer apply. By questioning the truth of each negative thought, you start to see which ones are distortions rather than reflections of reality. This process helps you separate helpful thoughts from unhelpful ones, allowing you to build a mindset that's grounded in truth rather than assumption. Over time, this practice reduces the power of negative thoughts as you learn to challenge them rather than accept them at face value. Adopting a growth mindset is also a valuable way to reframe negativity. When you view challenges as opportunities to learn, negative thoughts lose their weight. Each setback becomes a stepping stone, a chance to gain skills and insights that contribute to your personal growth. This mindset transforms challenges from obstacles into lessons, creating a perspective that sees value in every experience. By embracing a growth mindset, you're no longer discouraged by difficulties. Instead, you're motivated to grow and improve, seeing each challenge as a valuable part of your journey. Another method for managing negativity is focusing on the present moment. Negative thoughts often arise from worries about the future or regrets about the past. But by grounding yourself in the present, you're able to release these distractions and focus on what's happening now. This shift brings a sense of peace, as you're no longer caught in concerns that are beyond your control. Practicing mindfulness helps you engage fully with each moment, creating a calm, focused state that leaves little room for negativity. This practice helps you find joy in the present, a reminder that each moment offers something valuable. In the journey of reframing your thoughts, it's also helpful to replace complaints with solutions. Negative thoughts often come from a focus on problems without considering solutions. By shifting your mindset to look for solutions, you create a sense of empowerment. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to exercise creativity and resilience, turning frustrations into actionable steps. This approach builds a mindset that's proactive rather than reactive, one that views challenges as chances to find innovative solutions rather than as reasons for despair. Building positive habits also helps to counteract negativity. When you create routines that support your well-being, whether it's exercise, meditation, or time in nature, you're establishing a foundation that strengthens your resilience against negativity. These positive habits become tools that support your mental health, creating a lifestyle that encourages positivity and balance. Each habit reinforces your commitment to growth, creating a life that feels grounded in routines that promote peace and clarity. Over time, neutralizing negative thoughts creates a mindset that's resilient, positive, and solution-focused. You're no longer swayed by every challenge or doubt, but instead, you're able to approach each experience with a calm, empowered perspective. This mindset isn't about ignoring difficulties, but about meeting them with strength and optimism, a reminder that you have the power to shape your thoughts and, by extension, your life. By cultivating this mental resilience, you're creating a foundation for growth, a mindset that's equipped to face life's complexities with clarity and confidence. Having cultivated the strength to manage your thoughts and neutralize negativity, the next crucial step is taking decisive action. True growth requires more than positive thinking. It requires movement, turning thoughts into deeds and intentions into tangible realities. Action is what defines a life of purpose, transforming dreams into accomplishments. When you embrace action, you're not merely reacting to life. You're shaping it, directing it toward the goals and values that matter most. In this way, you become the architect of your own experience, building a life that reflects your aspirations through every step you take. The first aspect of taking action is overcoming inertia. Many people have goals and ideas, but fear, self-doubt, or the comfort of routine keeps them from making the first move. Embracing action starts with a single step, a commitment to move beyond your comfort zone. This initial movement, however small, creates momentum. Each small action reinforces your ability to keep going, showing that progress is possible and that you have the strength to face challenges. By simply beginning, you're proving to yourself that change is within your reach, that you're capable of breaking free from patterns that hold you back. Taking action also means setting clear intentions. Without a clear direction, it's easy to become overwhelmed or distracted, unsure of where to start. By defining your goals and priorities, you create a roadmap for your actions, a guide that keeps you focused and purposeful. This clarity doesn't have to mean a rigid plan. It's about having a sense of direction, a vision that drives your efforts. Each action becomes a step toward that vision, a choice that reflects your commitment to your goals. Clear intentions create alignment, ensuring that your actions are meaningful and directed toward what you truly want. In the journey of action, consistency is key. It's easy to start with enthusiasm, but lasting change requires sustained effort. By showing up day after day, you're building habits that reinforce your goals, creating a pattern of action that becomes second nature. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It's about returning to your path even when you stumble. Each day, each effort reinforces your commitment, creating a foundation that supports lasting growth. This consistency builds resilience, a strength that allows you to keep moving forward no matter the challenges you encounter. Action also involves embracing failure as part of the process. Many people hesitate to take action out of fear of failure, but true progress requires a willingness to learn from setbacks. Failure is not the end. It's a step on the journey, a chance to grow and adapt. By viewing failure as feedback rather than a stopping point, you're able to learn from each experience, using setbacks to refine your approach. This mindset frees you from the fear of mistakes, allowing you to take risks and explore new possibilities. Each failure becomes a lesson, a valuable insight that contributes to your progress. In taking action, it's also essential to focus on the process rather than the outcome. While goals provide direction, it's the daily actions, the steady work, that bring real change. By focusing on the process, you're able to engage fully in each step, finding satisfaction in the act of working toward your goals. This focus on the present allows you to enjoy the journey, to find meaning in each action rather than waiting for a future result. It creates a mindset of dedication, a reminder that growth is found not just in reaching the destination, but in the effort itself. Another important aspect of action is taking responsibility for your choices. When you become the architect of your life, you're accepting ownership of your path, acknowledging that your actions shape your future. This responsibility is empowering. It gives you the freedom to create the life you want, knowing that each choice contributes to your journey. By taking responsibility, you're no longer a passive participant in your life. You're an active creator, someone who chooses their path with intention. This ownership fosters a sense of pride and confidence, a belief in your ability to shape your reality. Taking action also involves prioritizing your values over convenience. In moments of decision, it can be tempting to take the easier route, to choose comfort over growth. But by prioritizing what truly matters, you're building a life that reflects your principles rather than fleeting desires. This commitment to values-driven action creates a life of integrity, a path that feels aligned with your core beliefs. Each choice becomes a reflection of who you are and what you stand for, creating a life that feels genuine and fulfilling. This alignment between action and values brings a sense of peace, knowing that you're living true to yourself. When you take action, you're also building courage. Each step forward requires bravery, a willingness to face the unknown and embrace new challenges. This courage strengthens with each action, creating a resilience that carries you through difficult times. By repeatedly choosing action over hesitation, you're developing a mindset of fearlessness, an ability to face life's uncertainties with confidence. This courage isn't about being without fear. It's about moving forward despite it, a strength that grows with each experience and allows you to face life with an open heart. Taking action also teaches you patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, and progress often requires sustained effort. Patience allows you to stay committed, to keep working even when results are slow. This patience is a form of trust, a belief that your efforts will bear fruit in time. By embracing patience, you're able to stay focused on your path, trusting in the process rather than expecting immediate results. This patience creates a sense of calm, a reminder that true change is built through steady, intentional action. In embracing action, you're also cultivating resilience. Life is full of challenges, but by taking consistent action, you're building the strength to face them. Resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about having the inner strength to keep going, to rise each time you fall. This resilience becomes a powerful ally, a source of confidence that helps you move through life with determination. Each action, each effort, reinforces your resilience, a reminder that you're capable of facing whatever comes your way. By taking action, you're also creating a legacy. Each choice, each effort becomes part of the life you're building, a testament to your commitment and vision. This legacy isn't about fame or recognition. It's about the impact you have on yourself and others, the life you create through your actions. By taking responsibility for your path, you're building a life that reflects your values, a life that stands as a testament to your dedication. This legacy brings a sense of purpose, a reminder that each action, no matter how small, contributes to a greater whole. In the end, taking action is about choosing to live fully, to shape your life with purpose and intention. It's about moving from ideas to reality, from wishes to achievements. By becoming the architect of your life, you're creating a path that's uniquely yours, a journey that reflects your dreams, values, and strengths. This commitment to action brings a sense of fulfillment, a life that feels rich in purpose and grounded in resilience. Through each step, each effort, you're building a life that's truly your own, a life that reflects your deepest aspirations and the courage to bring them into being. Now that you've begun taking purposeful action in your life, there's an essential perspective that can add a powerful depth to every choice you make: the awareness of mortality. Embracing the reality that life is finite, isn't a somber resignation. It's a profound reminder to live with full presence, urgency, and intention. This Stoic principle, memento mori, or remember you must die, isn't a call to focus on endings, but an invitation to infuse each moment with meaning and value. By reflecting on impermanence, you heighten your appreciation for life itself, making every day an opportunity to create, connect, and contribute meaningfully. Acknowledging mortality changes the way you see priorities. Many people fill their lives with pursuits that, when seen in light of life's brevity, may seem trivial. By remembering that time is finite, you're encouraged to focus on what truly matters. This focus brings clarity, helping you to set aside distractions or superficial goals in favor of pursuits that resonate with your values and dreams. When you see life as precious and fleeting, each choice becomes an opportunity to align with what feels deeply meaningful, allowing you to spend your time on what genuinely fulfills you. Reflecting on mortality also enhances your ability to live fully in the present. Often, people become so consumed with future plans or past regrets that they overlook the beauty and richness of the current moment. By embracing impermanence, you're reminded that now is the only time you have. This awareness encourages you to savor each experience, to connect deeply with those around you, and to find joy in the ordinary. Living in the present doesn't mean disregarding the future. It means appreciating the journey as it unfolds, without waiting for some distant outcome to bring happiness. Awareness of mortality also fosters courage. When you recognize that life is limited, the fears and doubts that might hold you back begin to fade. The fear of failure, rejection, or even embarrassment pales in comparison to the reality that time is passing. This realization empowers you to take risks, to pursue dreams without delay, and to live boldly. By embracing mortality, you're choosing to make the most of your life, a decision that gives you the courage to follow your passions, to express yourself fully, and to move forward even when the path is uncertain. This awareness of life's impermanence also nurtures gratitude. When you remember that nothing is guaranteed, you begin to see each day, each interaction, and each experience as a gift. Gratitude shifts from being a fleeting feeling to a way of life, a recognition of the beauty in each moment, no matter how simple. By valuing each experience, you cultivate a sense of contentment and joy, a reminder that life's true richness lies not in material wealth or status, but in the experiences that touch the heart. Gratitude becomes your anchor, a steady presence that brings peace even in the face of challenges. Reflecting on mortality also deepens your relationships. When you know that time is finite, you're inspired to connect with others on a deeper level, to express love, and to show appreciation openly. This perspective encourages you to let go of grudges, to forgive easily, and to value each relationship. By embracing the impermanence of life, you're able to focus on the moments you have with those you care about, creating memories that enrich your life and theirs. This approach transforms relationships, making each connection a meaningful part of your journey rather than a source of regret or missed opportunities. Another aspect of embracing mortality is learning to let go of what no longer serves you. When you know that life is brief, it becomes easier to release grudges, regrets, or negative habits that don't add value. You begin to see that holding on to these burdens only detracts from the limited time you have. Letting go becomes a form of liberation, a way of making space for what brings joy and meaning. By freeing yourself from what doesn't serve you, you're creating a life that feels light, purposeful, and open to new experiences. Mortality awareness also encourages you to define your legacy. Knowing that life is finite prompts you to consider what impact you want to leave, what values you want to embody, and how you want to be remembered. Legacy isn't about fame or recognition. It's about living in a way that feels true to your purpose. By acting with this awareness, each choice, each kindness, each act of service becomes a part of the life you're building. This focus on legacy provides direction, reminding you to live in a way that feels fulfilling and meaningful, contributing to the lives of others in a positive and lasting way. Embracing impermanence also teaches you resilience. When you're aware of mortality, you're less likely to be shaken by setbacks or challenges. Each difficulty becomes a temporary part of the journey, a moment that won't last forever. This resilience allows you to move through life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that nothing is permanent, not even the hardest challenges. Mortality teaches you to face life with strength, to rise after each fall, and to continue forward with a sense of calm and acceptance. By reflecting on life's brevity, you're also reminded of the importance of self-expression. Many people hold back, fearing judgment or rejection, but mortality awareness encourages you to share your thoughts, talents, and ideas without hesitation. Knowing that time is limited inspires you to live authentically, to embrace who you are and express it openly. This self-expression isn't about seeking validation. It's about honoring your individuality, a decision that brings fulfillment and confidence. Each act of self-expression becomes a way of saying yes to life, a choice to live fully and openly. Another profound effect of embracing mortality is the development of inner peace. When you understand that life is finite, you're less likely to be consumed by trivial concerns or minor setbacks. This perspective allows you to focus on what truly matters, creating a mindset that values peace over conflict, growth over resentment. This inner peace is a source of strength, a reminder that life's challenges are fleeting and that each moment of calm is a gift. By embracing mortality, you're choosing to cultivate a mindset of acceptance, one that brings a steady sense of tranquility no matter the circumstances. Awareness of mortality also inspires you to pursue your dreams without delay. Many people postpone their goals, waiting for the perfect time, but mortality reminds you that the perfect time is now. This urgency isn't about rushing. It's about valuing each opportunity to move closer to your aspirations. By pursuing your dreams today, you're honoring your potential, creating a life that feels vibrant and purposeful. This commitment to action brings a sense of fulfillment, a reminder that each step toward your goals is a celebration of life itself. Finally, embracing mortality encourages a sense of humility. When you know that life is temporary, you're reminded that you're part of something larger, a cycle that transcends individual achievements. This humility fosters gratitude for the small moments, a reminder that life's beauty lies not in grand accomplishments, but in the everyday experiences that connect us to others and to the world around us. By approaching life with humility, you're able to find joy in simplicity, a peace that comes from living in harmony with the natural flow of existence. In embracing mortality, you're choosing to live fully, to value each day as a chance to create, to grow, and to connect. This awareness isn't about fear or sadness. It's a reminder to live with intention, to make each moment count. Through each choice, each action, you're honoring the gift of life, creating a path that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Embracing mortality brings a sense of purpose, a life that feels rich not in years, but in depth, a testament to a life lived with courage, love, and unwavering presence. Having embraced the reality of mortality, life takes on a profound focus, sharpening your awareness of what truly matters. But even when you're grounded in purpose, there will be times when others might question, overlook, or undervalue you. These moments can sting, but the Stoics offer timeless wisdom for handling them with grace strength, and integrity. Instead of reacting with anger or resentment, these lessons guide you to respond in ways that disarm critics, reinforce your self-respect, and ultimately strengthen your character. The key is not to diminish yourself to meet others' judgments, but to rise above, staying true to your values and inner worth. The first lesson in disarming undervaluation is cultivating indifference to others' opinions. Stoicism teaches that while we can't control what others think or say, we can control how much weight we give their judgments. By developing a mindset that values your own principles over others' opinions, you free yourself from the need for approval. This approach doesn't mean ignoring feedback, but prioritizing your own self-assessment over external voices. This inner confidence subtly disarms those who might seek to undermine you, as they realize their judgments hold no sway over your sense of self. Another Stoic lesson in handling undervaluation is to practice humility. Humility doesn't mean downplaying your worth. It's about recognizing your strengths without the need to prove them to others. This humility becomes a quiet strength, a confidence that isn't loud, but undeniably present. When others attempt to undervalue you, this humble assurance speaks for itself, reminding them that true worth doesn't need validation. This stance not only disarms critics, but also garners respect, as people are often taken aback by those who don't rely on outward praise to confirm their value. Practicing patience is also essential. When others undervalue you, there's often a temptation to react or to prove them wrong immediately. But Stoicism teaches that time often reveals the truth more effectively than words. By patiently allowing your actions to speak over time, you demonstrate your value without confrontation. This patience not only strengthens your resilience, but also disarms those who might expect a reactive response, showing them that your worth is rooted in something far deeper than fleeting opinions. One of the most empowering Stoic responses to undervaluation is to focus on your own growth. Rather than letting others' judgments define you, channel your energy into personal development. This focus on growth transforms undervaluation into a motivator, a reminder that your true worth is found in the effort you put into becoming better. Each step toward growth builds inner confidence, a sense of worth that isn't shaken by others' perceptions. This dedication to self-improvement subtly communicates that your value is defined by your progress, not by others' limitations. Another lesson is to embrace composure. In the face of undervaluation, maintaining composure can be a powerful statement. Stoicism teaches that true strength is found in calmness, the ability to remain steady even when others attempt to diminish you. This composure communicates self-assurance, a quiet resilience that speaks louder than any defensive response. When you respond with calm rather than frustration, you disarm critics by showing that their opinions have no power over your inner peace. Practicing forgiveness is another Stoic approach to undervaluation. Holding grudges or resentment only weighs you down, creating a cycle of negativity. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the emotional impact of others' judgments. This forgiveness isn't about condoning undervaluation, it's about freeing yourself from its effects. When others see that you harbor no resentment, it disarms them, showing that you are driven by inner peace rather than external validation. Forgiveness becomes an act of strength, a reminder that your worth is too profound to be diminished by fleeting opinions. Embracing self-respect is another vital Stoic lesson. Self-respect means valuing yourself independently of others' opinions, recognizing your inherent worth without needing approval. When you carry self-respect, it radiates in your actions, words, and presence, subtly reminding others that their undervaluation has no bearing on your confidence. This respect creates a boundary, an unspoken reminder that you are not easily diminished. Others sense this strength, realizing that you are not swayed by their judgments, which in turn often shifts their perception of you. Stoicism also teaches the value of setting boundaries. When someone repeatedly undervalues you, it's important to establish limits on the extent of their influence in your life. Boundaries are an expression of self-worth, a reminder that you will not tolerate being diminished. These boundaries are not about pushing people away, but about protecting your sense of self. When you set boundaries calmly and firmly, it communicates that your value is non-negotiable, disarming those who might otherwise feel entitled to pass judgment on you. Another Stoic approach is to find compassion for those who undervalue you. Often, people's judgments reflect their own insecurities or misunderstandings. By seeing others' undervaluation as a reflection of their experiences rather than a true assessment of you, you gain compassion. This compassion allows you to respond with understanding rather than defensiveness, subtly disarming critics by removing the emotional charge from their judgments. When others sense your compassion, they are often surprised, realizing that their opinions have not impacted your inner peace. Embracing purpose is another powerful way to disarm undervaluation. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, others' judgments lose significance. Purpose gives direction, a sense of meaning that goes beyond external validation. By staying committed to your purpose, you show others that your worth is defined by your actions and goals, not by their opinions. This focus on purpose becomes a quiet strength, a reminder to those around you that true value comes from living authentically rather than from seeking approval. Another Stoic lesson is practicing gratitude. When you face undervaluation, focusing on what you appreciate about yourself and your journey can shift your perspective. Gratitude reminds you of your strengths, of the experiences that have shaped you, and of the resilience that has carried you through challenges. This mindset of appreciation creates a foundation of positivity, a sense of inner fulfillment that isn't easily shaken. Gratitude disarms undervaluation by showing that your sense of self is rooted in what you cherish rather than in others' opinions. Embracing impermanence is also a powerful Stoic approach. Recognizing that all things are temporary, including others' judgments, brings a sense of perspective. When you see undervaluation as a fleeting moment rather than a lasting truth, it loses its power over you. This awareness of impermanence allows you to let go of others' judgments without letting them affect your inner peace. By viewing undervaluation as something that will pass, you remain grounded, disarming critics with your ability to stay centered despite their opinions. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-awareness. Understanding yourself, your strengths, values, and goals creates a foundation that others' judgments cannot shake. Self-awareness brings clarity, a deep understanding of who you are and what matters to you. When you are confident in your self-knowledge, others' undervaluation has no effect, as it cannot alter your sense of identity. This self-awareness disarms undervaluation by making it irrelevant. You are too grounded in your own truth to be swayed by external judgments. By applying these Stoic lessons, you create a life that's resilient to undervaluation, one that values inner strength over external validation. Each lesson reinforces a sense of worth that is unwavering, a reminder that true value comes from within. In embracing these principles, you disarm those who undervalue you, not through confrontation, but through a quiet, enduring strength that speaks for itself. This approach transforms undervaluation into an opportunity for growth, a chance to live with greater purpose, integrity, and peace. Having learned to rise above the judgments of others, you're now ready to explore the deeper aspects of Stoic wisdom that pave the way for an exceptional life. Stoicism offers timeless guidance on achieving everything you truly desire, not in the way of fleeting, superficial wants, but in the meaningful and profound ways that lead to lasting fulfillment. To live exceptionally means to embrace life fully, with clarity, purpose, and resilience. These Stoic principles are not about chasing every whim, but about attaining what brings real, enduring joy and satisfaction. The foundation of an exceptional life begins with self-mastery. This is about developing control over your impulses, desires, and reactions. In Stoicism, true freedom comes from this mastery, as it allows you to make choices that align with your highest values, rather than being swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Self-mastery empowers you to act intentionally, to choose the path that serves your goals rather than being carried along by circumstance. It's a quiet strength that builds resilience, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace and unwavering focus. An exceptional life also requires a deep understanding of purpose. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to become distracted by pursuits that offer little fulfillment. Stoic wisdom emphasizes knowing why you're here, what you want to contribute, and what principles guide you. This sense of purpose becomes a compass, guiding your actions and decisions. Each day, each task becomes an opportunity to contribute to this larger vision, creating a life that feels both meaningful and aligned. Purpose isn't about rigid goals, but about living in a way that reflects your deepest values, providing direction in even the most uncertain times. Another key to achieving everything you desire is cultivating inner peace. Stoicism teaches that peace isn't found in the absence of problems, but in the strength to face them calmly. By learning to quiet your mind and approach challenges without panic, you create a life that feels balanced, one where difficulties don't disrupt your sense of well-being. Inner peace doesn't come from avoiding life's hardships. It comes from developing the tools to face them with confidence. This calm becomes your foundation, allowing you to pursue your goals without being thrown off course by every setback. Gratitude is also central to living exceptionally. Many people spend their lives focusing on what they lack, which only creates a sense of insufficiency. Stoic gratitude, however, teaches you to appreciate what you already have, to find fulfillment in the present rather than endlessly seeking more. This gratitude builds contentment, a sense of satisfaction that enriches every moment. By appreciating life's small gifts, you create a mindset of abundance rather than lack. This perspective doesn't diminish your ambitions, but grounds them in a sense of fullness, reminding you that happiness isn't in the future, it's available here and now. Resilience is another cornerstone of an exceptional life. Stoicism teaches that resilience isn't about avoiding difficulty, but about strengthening your ability to overcome it. This resilience allows you to pursue your goals despite setbacks, to see each obstacle as an opportunity for growth. By embracing resilience, you're no longer discouraged by challenges. You see them as necessary steps on the path to success. This mindset makes you unstoppable, as you know that no matter what happens, you have the strength to adapt, to rise, and to continue forward. Living with integrity is also essential. An exceptional life is one that aligns with your values, where your actions reflect your principles. Integrity creates a life of honesty and authenticity, a reminder that true success isn't about achieving goals at any cost, but about living in a way that feels true to yourself. This commitment to integrity builds trust, both in yourself and with others, as people see that you live by your word. Integrity isn't always the easiest path, but it is the most rewarding, as it creates a life of respect, self-worth, and genuine connections. Stoic wisdom also emphasizes the importance of courage. Living exceptionally requires stepping out of your comfort zone, facing fears, and embracing uncertainty. Courage is what allows you to pursue your dreams despite doubt, to move forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. By cultivating courage, you're building a life that isn't limited by fear, but is expanded by possibility. This courage creates a mindset that views challenges as adventures, opportunities to grow and evolve. Each act of bravery reinforces your confidence, a reminder that you are capable of achieving what you desire. Practicing patience is another Stoic secret to an exceptional life. In a world that often values quick results, Stoicism teaches the value of patience, the understanding that true growth and success take time. Patience allows you to stay committed to your path, to persevere even when progress is slow. This patience builds inner strength, a resilience that carries you through the ups and downs. By embracing patience, you're creating a life that values steady growth over instant gratification, one that allows you to appreciate each stage of your journey rather than rushing to the finish. An exceptional life is also one of continuous learning. Stoicism encourages a mindset of curiosity, a willingness to learn and grow throughout life. By approaching each day as an opportunity to learn, you're constantly expanding your knowledge, skills, and perspectives. This commitment to learning keeps life vibrant, a reminder that growth never ends. Each lesson, each new skill adds depth and richness to your experience, creating a life that feels dynamic and ever-evolving. Another Stoic secret is practicing detachment from outcomes. While goals provide direction, Stoicism teaches that your happiness shouldn't depend on reaching a specific outcome. This detachment allows you to pursue your dreams without becoming overly attached to the results, a mindset that frees you from anxiety. Detachment isn't about indifference, it's about focusing on the effort rather than the outcome. By embracing this principle, you're able to enjoy the journey, to find satisfaction in the work itself rather than in a final achievement. This perspective creates a sense of freedom, a life where success is defined by dedication rather than external validation. Self-awareness is also vital in creating an exceptional life. Knowing yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, values, and desires creates a foundation for authentic living. Self-awareness allows you to make choices that reflect who you truly are, a life that feels aligned and purposeful. This understanding of self prevents you from chasing goals that don't resonate with you, keeping you focused on what genuinely fulfills you. Self-awareness also allows you to recognize and address areas for growth, a mindset that values self-improvement as a continuous journey. Another Stoic principle is the art of letting go. Often, people hold on to things, whether it's material possessions, past regrets, or unproductive relationships that no longer serve them. Stoicism teaches the power of release, the understanding that freedom often comes from letting go. This practice of letting go creates space for what truly matters, allowing you to live with clarity and purpose. Letting go isn't a loss, it's a gain, a decision to focus on what adds value to your life. This ability to release what no longer serves you brings peace and simplicity, creating a life that feels light and focused. An exceptional life is one lived with compassion. Stoic wisdom reminds us that while we are all pursuing our own goals, we are also interconnected. By practicing kindness, understanding, and empathy, you create a life that is not only fulfilling, but also deeply connected to others. Compassion doesn't weaken your resolve, it strengthens it, as it reminds you of the shared human experience. This compassion enriches every interaction, making your journey meaningful not only for yourself, but for those around you. By embracing these Stoic principles, you are building an exceptional life, one that is rich in purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. Each lesson brings you closer to achieving everything you truly desire, not through fleeting successes, but through a life that feels whole, aligned, and deeply rewarding. Through self-mastery, courage, integrity, and gratitude, you are creating a life that is exceptional, not by chance, but by choice. A life that reflects your highest aspirations and truest self. Now that you've uncovered Stoic insights for an exceptional life, it's time to dive into the art of cultivating a calm, balanced mind. In a world filled with constant demands and distractions, achieving mental calmness is more valuable than ever. Stoicism provides timeless, practical strategies for calming the mind, helping you manage stress and keep your thoughts grounded. A calm mind isn't free from challenges. It's one that meets each moment with clarity, resilience, and quiet strength. These strategies don't just offer peace, they empower you to handle life with a steady focus, making every experience richer and more fulfilling. One of the simplest ways to calm your mind is to practice mindful awareness of your thoughts. Thoughts often come in waves, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes barely noticeable, but each one carries its own weight. By developing the habit of observing your thoughts rather than reacting to them, you gain control over your mental state. This awareness helps you recognize when negative or anxious thoughts arise, giving you the chance to let them pass without holding on to them. Through mindful observation, you create a space between your thoughts and your responses, allowing you to respond calmly rather than getting caught in cycles of stress or frustration. Focusing on what is within your control is another essential Stoic strategy for a calm mind. Much of the stress and anxiety we experience stems from trying to control outcomes or situations that are beyond our influence. Stoicism teaches the power of accepting what you cannot change and directing your energy toward what you can. This focus on your circle of control brings a profound sense of peace as you release the burden of the uncontrollable. When you let go of the need to manage everything, you're left with a mind that's free to focus on what truly matters, creating a sense of calm and purpose in each moment. Daily reflection is also a powerful tool for calming the mind. Taking a few moments each day to review your thoughts, actions, and experiences helps you gain perspective and clarity. Reflection allows you to process emotions, to see challenges with a balanced view, and to learn from each experience. This practice grounds you in the present, helping you understand your day rather than letting it slip by unnoticed. With daily reflection, you build a habit of intentional living, one that prevents unnecessary worries from clouding your mind. This routine brings a sense of calm as you approach each day with a reflective, steady mindset. Another strategy is to embrace simplicity. In our modern world, it's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more possessions, more achievements, more experiences. This drive, however, often leads to a cluttered mind, overwhelmed by endless wants and needs. By choosing simplicity, you're making space for peace. This isn't about giving up ambition, but about focusing on what genuinely adds value to your life. Simplifying your environment, commitments, and even your mental load allows you to approach life with a calm, uncluttered mind. Each day becomes a chance to focus on what truly matters, reducing mental noise and creating a lasting sense of calm. Practicing gratitude is another effective Stoic strategy for mental calm. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present, creating a mindset that values the moment. When you cultivate gratitude, you're training your mind to appreciate life's gifts, both big and small. This appreciation fosters a sense of contentment, a quiet joy that calms the mind. Gratitude doesn't ignore life's challenges, but frames them within the context of all that's positive. By regularly practicing gratitude, you're building a mental foundation that isn't easily shaken, a reminder that even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. Embracing silence is another powerful way to calm the mind. In a world full of constant noise, both external and internal, silence offers a much-needed respite. By setting aside time each day for quiet, you give your mind a break from the constant flow of information and thoughts. This silence allows you to reset, to connect with your inner self, and to find clarity. It's in these quiet moments that you often gain the greatest insights, as your mind is free to reflect without distraction. Silence isn't empty. It's full of potential, a space where peace and understanding can grow. Practicing acceptance is another Stoic approach to mental calm. Much of our mental unrest comes from resistance to situations, emotions, or experiences that don't align with our expectations. By learning to accept things as they are, you're letting go of this inner conflict. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means acknowledging reality without fighting it. This approach frees you from the stress of wishing things were different, allowing you to focus on responding to life's challenges rather than resisting them. Acceptance creates a mental state that is adaptable, calm, and at peace with life's ebb and flow. Focusing on the present moment is a cornerstone of a calm mind. Many people are weighed down by worries about the future or regrets about the past, but Stoicism teaches the power of being fully engaged in the now. By focusing on the present, you're able to experience life as it unfolds, free from the burdens of time. This presence brings clarity, as your mind is no longer divided by what was or what might be. Each moment becomes an opportunity to live fully, to connect deeply, and to find joy in the here and now. Living in the present is the ultimate calm, a state of mind that isn't swayed by distractions, but grounded in each unfolding moment. Through these strategies, you're building a calm, resilient mind that is prepared for life's challenges. Each technique reinforces a sense of peace, a reminder that true calm isn't about avoiding life's demands, but about meeting them with a centered, balanced approach. Stoic wisdom provides a path to a quieter, more focused mind, allowing you to experience life with depth, clarity, and an unwavering sense of tranquility. With a calm and focused mind, the next step toward a life of purpose is learning how to prioritize your goals and make the most of every moment. Time, as the Stoics remind us, is our most precious resource. Once lost, it can never be regained. To truly live well, it's essential to eliminate distractions, embrace intentionality, and commit fully to what matters. The Stoic approach offers invaluable rules for directing your energy toward your highest aims, ensuring that every action serves a meaningful purpose. These principles empower you to pursue your goals with unwavering focus, allowing you to build a life defined by intention, productivity, and purpose. The first rule is to begin with clear priorities. Often people drift from task to task, unsure of what truly matters to them. Stoicism encourages a deep reflection on your values and goals, helping you determine what is worth your time and what isn't. By understanding your priorities, you gain clarity, a sense of purpose that guides each choice and action. This clarity prevents you from scattering your energy across distractions, allowing you to dedicate yourself to what brings lasting fulfillment. When you set clear priorities, each day becomes a step toward a life that reflects your most cherished aims, a life that values depth over superficial pursuits. Another key principle is to minimize distractions. In today's world, distractions are abundant. Social media, trivial tasks, or the constant influx of notifications can pull your focus away from what truly matters. The Stoics teach the value of undivided attention, the ability to focus deeply without allowing the noise of life to derail you. Minimizing distractions requires discipline, a commitment to setting boundaries and saying no to what doesn't serve your goals. By guarding your focus, you're creating a space where meaningful work can flourish, a life where each moment is spent on what genuinely matters rather than on fleeting diversions. Practicing self-discipline is also essential. Discipline isn't about denying yourself pleasure, it's about directing your actions toward what benefits you in the long run. The Stoics believed that self-mastery was key to achieving goals, as it enables you to resist impulses that may distract or derail you. Self-discipline becomes a daily practice, a commitment to make choices that align with your aspirations rather than with short-term satisfaction. Each act of discipline reinforces your dedication, a reminder that true freedom comes from choosing your path with intention rather than being swayed by immediate desires. Another rule is to make consistent progress, however small. Many people become discouraged by the enormity of their goals, feeling overwhelmed by the distance between where they are and where they want to be. Stoicism teaches that progress, no matter how small, is valuable. By focusing on consistent action rather than perfection, you're building momentum, a steady drive that brings you closer to your goals with each step. This approach creates a mindset of patience, a willingness to value the journey as much as the destination. Each small effort adds up, creating a path toward your dreams that feels manageable and fulfilling. An important Stoic rule is to live with a sense of urgency. Recognizing that time is limited, the Stoics remind us that each day is an opportunity to move closer to our goals. This urgency isn't about rushing, it's about appreciating the value of time and using it wisely. By living with urgency, you're reminded to avoid procrastination, to make choices that reflect your commitment to your goals. This sense of purpose creates a life that feels vibrant, as each day is filled with actions that bring you closer to what you desire. Embracing urgency turns each moment into a precious chance to advance, a reminder that now is the time to act. Another essential rule is to cultivate resilience. The path to any meaningful goal is rarely without obstacles, but resilience enables you to stay the course despite setbacks. Stoicism teaches that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with strength and adaptability. By cultivating resilience, you're preparing yourself for the inevitable challenges that arise, viewing them as part of the journey rather than as reasons to abandon your path. This resilience reinforces your commitment, a reminder that setbacks are simply steps along the way. With resilience, you build a mindset that is unshakable, one that remains focused on your goals even in the face of adversity. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of embracing purpose over pleasure. Many distractions are rooted in the pursuit of pleasure, a desire for momentary enjoyment that often detracts from long-term goals. By choosing purpose over pleasure, you're prioritizing actions that serve your highest aims rather than fleeting satisfaction. This choice isn't about denying joy, but about finding fulfillment in what aligns with your values. Living with purpose creates a life that feels rich and satisfying, a reminder that true contentment is found in pursuing what matters rather than in chasing transient desires. The Stoics encourage reflection on progress. Taking time to assess your journey helps you remain aligned with your goals, allowing you to see where you've made strides and where you can improve. Reflection provides perspective, a chance to celebrate your progress while recalibrating for future efforts. This practice keeps you focused, a reminder that growth is a continual process. By reflecting on your progress, you're maintaining a connection to your goals, ensuring that each day is a purposeful step forward. This reflection brings clarity, a chance to see the bigger picture and to refine your path with each new insight. Through these Stoic rules, you're building a life that values time, purpose, and steady progress. Each principle reinforces a mindset that doesn't waste time but uses each moment intentionally, creating a journey that feels both productive and fulfilling. By focusing on what matters, you're creating a life that is directed, meaningful, and deeply rewarding. These Stoic practices offer a path to achieving your goals with clarity, resilience, and a sense of urgency, helping you make every moment count in the pursuit of your highest aspirations. With a clear focus on your goals and a commitment to use each moment purposefully, the next step is developing mastery over the mind. Stoicism teaches that a calm, centered mind is one of the most powerful assets for navigating life's challenges without being overtaken by emotion. Emotions are a natural part of the human experience, yet without awareness, they can become overwhelming, clouding judgment and pulling you away from your principles. Mastering your mind doesn't mean rejecting emotions, but understanding and directing them so they serve rather than hinder you. Through Stoic wisdom, you learn to respond with clarity and calm, maintaining your inner balance regardless of external pressures. A fundamental lesson in mastering the mind is learning to recognize and observe emotions without immediately reacting to them. Emotions often rise quickly and, if left unchecked, can lead to impulsive actions that don't align with your values. By observing emotions as they arise, you create a space between feeling and reaction, a moment of awareness that allows you to consider how best to respond. This simple act of observation fosters control, helping you understand that while emotions are valid, they don't have to dictate your actions. This skill enables you to face life with a calm, steady mind, using emotions as a guide rather than a command. Practicing detachment is another powerful tool for emotional resilience. Often, emotional turbulence stems from becoming too attached to specific outcomes, people, or things. Stoicism teaches the value of detaching from what is beyond your control, focusing instead on your own thoughts and actions. Detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means releasing the need to control external events, thereby freeing yourself from the anxiety that comes from clinging to expectations. This detachment allows you to face challenges with composure, a sense of peace that remains steady regardless of the outcome. By letting go of attachment, you're creating a mind that is flexible, resilient, and ready to face whatever comes your way. Another Stoic principle is embracing rationality over impulsive reactions. Emotions can sometimes distort perception, making situations seem more intense or overwhelming than they truly are. Stoicism encourages using reason as a guide, approaching each situation with a balanced perspective. By relying on rationality, you're able to see situations clearly, without the haze of heightened emotion. This rational approach allows you to make decisions that are aligned with your values, choosing responses that are thoughtful rather than reactive. Embracing rationality builds confidence, as you're able to navigate challenges with a mind that sees things as they are, not as they feel in the moment. Another lesson in mastering the mind is practicing acceptance of impermanence. Many emotional struggles arise from resisting change or holding on to what is meant to pass. By embracing the Stoic understanding that everything in life is temporary, you're better prepared to handle both joy and sorrow without becoming overly attached. This acceptance brings peace, as you realize that all experiences, both pleasant and challenging, are part of the human journey. By letting go of resistance, you allow yourself to move through life with grace, experiencing each moment fully without the fear of loss. This acceptance creates a mindset that values the present without clinging to what must eventually change. Focusing on inner peace rather than external approval is also essential for emotional mastery. Many emotional disturbances come from a desire for validation or acceptance from others. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from within, not from external recognition. By valuing your own self-assessment over others' opinions, you're building a foundation of confidence that isn't easily shaken. This focus on inner peace creates a life that is guided by your own values rather than by the fluctuating opinions of those around you. By letting go of the need for approval, you're freeing yourself from the emotional turmoil that comes from seeking validation outside of yourself. Developing patience is another Stoic approach to mastering the mind. Emotions often arise when situations don't meet your expectations or when outcomes take longer than anticipated. Patience allows you to let go of these expectations, creating a mindset that embraces each moment as it unfolds. This patience isn't about passivity, it's about trusting that things will come in their own time. By cultivating patience, you're reducing frustration and anxiety, creating a sense of calm that remains steady through life's ebbs and flows. This patience becomes a source of strength, a reminder that each moment is part of a larger journey, one that unfolds at its own pace. A key to emotional mastery is also the practice of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already present, creating a mindset that is rooted in appreciation. When you cultivate gratitude, you're building a mental foundation that isn't easily swayed by disappointment or longing. This gratitude helps you see life with a balanced perspective, a reminder that there is always something to be thankful for, even in challenging times. By focusing on gratitude, you're nurturing a calm mind that finds peace in the present, reducing the emotional pull of unmet desires or expectations. The Stoics teach the importance of self-reflection. Taking time to examine your thoughts, emotions, and actions allows you to understand yourself more deeply, gaining insight into your own triggers and patterns. This self-awareness creates a foundation for emotional resilience, as you're able to recognize when emotions arise and choose how to respond to them. Self-reflection builds a life of intentionality, one that isn't ruled by reactive impulses, but by thoughtful choices. By reflecting regularly, you're cultivating a mind that remains grounded and calm, a mind that approaches each situation with clarity and purpose. By integrating these Stoic lessons, you're developing a mastery over your mind that brings a sense of calm and resilience. Each principle empowers you to handle emotions with grace, using them as a guide rather than as a force that overtakes you. Through observation, detachment, rationality, and acceptance, you're building a mindset that meets each moment with balance, a life that is enriched by a calm, centered mind that stays true to its values. With the power to master your mind and emotions firmly in place, there's a subtler yet equally powerful strategy in Stoicism: the art of silence. In moments when emotions run high, or when you're confronted with criticism, conflict, or others' attempts to undermine you, silence can be a profound statement. Choosing silence isn't about avoiding expression or being passive. It's a decision to engage from a place of wisdom and restraint, letting your actions and presence speak louder than any words. In Stoicism, silence is an act of strength, a way to show control over reactions, allowing you to stand firm while others reveal their intentions or experience their own realizations. The first principle of Stoic silence is recognizing the power of restraint. Often, people feel compelled to respond to every comment, question, or criticism, as if silence implies weakness or agreement. However, Stoicism teaches that silence is a strength, an ability to refrain from unnecessary words when they serve no true purpose. By holding back, you maintain control over the situation, directing your energy inward rather than letting it be dispersed in reactive responses. Restraint creates a moment of pause, a powerful statement that can often lead others to question their own words. In this silence, you communicate that you are not easily shaken, that your peace cannot be disturbed by external judgments. Another key element of Stoic silence is choosing your words carefully. When you do speak, it's intentional and thoughtful, leaving no room for misinterpretation or wasted effort. Silence allows you to assess what truly needs to be said and what is better left unsaid. This practice doesn't mean retreating from expression, but refining it, ensuring that your words carry weight. When you speak sparingly, each word becomes significant, showing that you're not speaking out of impulse, but out of clear purpose. This approach often leaves a stronger impression than responding immediately, creating a sense of respect and authority through the wisdom of deliberate speech. Silence also allows others to reveal themselves. By refraining from immediate response, you create a space where others often fill the silence with more of their own thoughts, sometimes revealing intentions or perspectives they might have otherwise kept hidden. This approach gives you insight, allowing you to understand others' motivations more fully without having to ask for it directly. Silence in this way becomes a tool for discernment, giving you the chance to observe rather than engage prematurely. This subtle technique often leads others to reconsider their approach, as they sense your calm observation rather than reactive participation. Using silence also enables you to process emotions without reacting impulsively. When faced with a situation that might provoke anger, frustration, or hurt, silence offers a protective barrier, a moment to pause and consider your true response. This space allows you to examine your feelings, to decide whether the situation warrants a response or whether silence itself is the most powerful answer. By choosing silence, you're allowing emotions to settle, preserving your peace rather than letting momentary feelings dictate your actions. This choice not only protects your inner calm, but often leaves others questioning their own words and actions, realizing the impact of their behavior without any input from you. Another aspect of Stoic silence is the ability to rise above petty conflicts. Many arguments are rooted in trivial matters or misunderstandings that, when met with silence, quickly lose their intensity. By choosing not to engage, you're making a statement that the issue is not worth your energy. This silence doesn't imply indifference, but shows a commitment to preserving your peace over engaging in unnecessary disputes. Others often come to regret initiating conflict when they are met with silence, realizing that their words or actions hold no power over you. This approach subtly communicates your confidence, as you show that you are unaffected by minor provocations. Silence also preserves your energy. Engaging in every debate or argument is exhausting, often leading to stress without any productive outcome. By practicing silence, you're conserving your mental and emotional resources, focusing your energy on what truly matters. This economy of effort is a form of wisdom, a reminder that not every situation deserves your input. Each moment of silence reinforces your focus, ensuring that your energy is spent on actions that align with your goals rather than on draining conflicts. This approach fosters a sense of calm strength, a quiet assurance that speaks volumes without needing words. Practicing silence also deepens self-respect. When you refrain from responding to provocations, you're acknowledging that your peace and integrity are worth more than the opinions or judgments of others. This self-respect creates a boundary, a silent reminder that you do not allow others' words to influence your inner state. Silence, in this way, becomes an expression of self-worth, a declaration that you hold yourself to a standard that is above reactive engagement. This respect for yourself often leaves others re-evaluating their approach, realizing that your silence speaks to a confidence that cannot be easily shaken. Choosing silence also encourages patience. In situations where immediate reaction is tempting, silence teaches you to wait, to allow time to reveal the true nature of events or intentions. This patience gives you perspective, a chance to see things more clearly rather than reacting to a limited view. By waiting, you often gain insights that would have been missed in the rush to respond. This perspective creates a steady mind, one that values the long view over immediate reaction. Others, sensing your patience, often feel a shift in their own behavior, recognizing that your silence reflects depth rather than disinterest. Another benefit of Stoic silence is the way it builds trust with yourself. By choosing silence over reaction, you're proving to yourself that you have control over your responses, that you are not a slave to impulse or emotion. This trust strengthens your sense of inner authority, a confidence that grows each time you choose silence with intention. This trust is empowering, a reminder that you are capable of directing your actions, of choosing peace over turmoil. Each moment of silence reinforces this self-trust, a steady foundation that supports you through every challenge and conflict. Stoic silence creates an aura of mystery and strength. When you don't reveal everything through words, others are left to wonder, to consider the strength behind your silence. This mystery often leads others to rethink their actions, to respect the boundary your silence establishes. Silence, when chosen intentionally, radiates a quiet power, a strength that doesn't need to be vocalized. This aura creates an impression that is often more impactful than words, a reminder that true power doesn't always need to be expressed. By practicing Stoic silence, you're creating a life where peace, strength, and wisdom guide your actions. Silence, used wisely, becomes a tool for personal growth, a way to protect your energy, preserve your integrity, and let others see the depth of your character without a single word. After learning the art of silence and the strength it can bring, it's natural to wonder how Stoicism can be a source of true enthusiasm, especially when life feels overwhelming. We all face times when our energy wanes, when motivation slips, and life's challenges feel heavier. Stoicism, far from being just a philosophy of detachment, holds powerful lessons that can rekindle a genuine sense of enthusiasm for life. When everything feels like it's against you, Stoic wisdom offers a way to find strength and joy in each moment, creating a life that's not only resilient, but full of purpose and vitality. One of the most transformative lessons is the Stoic practice of gratitude. When things feel bleak, gratitude shifts your perspective from what's missing to what's present, a reminder of life's simple, enduring gifts. Gratitude helps you find joy in the small things, bringing light into your life even when it seems dim. This practice isn't about ignoring struggles. It's about grounding yourself in appreciation, creating a mental foundation that fosters contentment. By focusing on gratitude, you create a sense of richness in every day, fueling your enthusiasm with a genuine sense of appreciation for what is, rather than what is lacking. A powerful lesson for maintaining enthusiasm is focusing on the present. Many people feel weighed down by regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, leaving little room for the present moment. Stoicism teaches that true joy comes from embracing the here and now, living fully engaged in each experience. When you focus on the present, worries and regrets lose their power, replaced by a curiosity and openness to what's unfolding. This awareness creates a sense of freedom, a reminder that the most meaningful experiences are found in the moment. Each day becomes an opportunity to connect, to explore, and to live with a depth that fuels genuine enthusiasm. Another Stoic principle that brings renewed energy is the practice of acceptance. Often, a lack of enthusiasm arises from resisting circumstances that are beyond your control. By learning to accept things as they are, you free yourself from the mental strain of resistance. Acceptance isn't passive resignation, it's an active choice to engage with reality without being weighed down by what you wish could change. This acceptance brings peace, allowing you to focus on what you can control rather than becoming lost in frustration. By choosing acceptance, you're creating a space for enthusiasm to grow, a reminder that even in difficulty, there is value and purpose. Setting meaningful goals is also essential to reigniting enthusiasm. The Stoics teach the importance of purpose, the idea that life feels most fulfilling when guided by goals that reflect your values. Meaningful goals give direction, a reason to get up each day with a sense of intention. By choosing goals that align with your true self, you're creating a life that feels both challenging and rewarding. These goals become milestones, a path that guides you forward with enthusiasm, as each step brings you closer to a life that feels deeply fulfilling. Purpose provides a steady source of motivation, a reminder that each effort brings you closer to what truly matters. Practicing self-compassion is another valuable lesson. When enthusiasm fades, it's easy to fall into a cycle of self-criticism, to feel that you're not doing enough. But Stoicism teaches the importance of kindness toward oneself, the understanding that growth is a journey, not a straight line. By approaching yourself with compassion, you're creating a supportive inner dialogue that nurtures resilience rather than discouragement. This self-compassion brings peace, a reminder that you are human, learning, and evolving. Through self-compassion, you build a foundation that fuels enthusiasm by fostering a gentle, steady commitment to improvement. Resilience is another cornerstone of Stoic wisdom. Life will inevitably bring challenges, but resilience allows you to face them with strength and adaptability. By building resilience, you're creating a mindset that views obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than as reasons to give up. This resilience fosters a sense of invincibility, a reminder that no setback can truly hold you back. Each challenge becomes a chance to prove your strength, to rise and continue with renewed enthusiasm. Resilience builds confidence, a reminder that you are capable of facing anything that comes your way, creating a life of purpose, not fear. Practicing kindness toward others also fosters enthusiasm. Stoicism reminds us that we are all connected, that acts of kindness not only benefit others, but bring joy and fulfillment to ourselves. By focusing on kindness, you create a life that feels generous and open, a reminder that your actions contribute to a greater good. This kindness often leads to unexpected joy, a reminder that enthusiasm grows when shared. Each act of kindness brings a sense of connection and purpose, transforming your days from ordinary to meaningful, creating a life that feels vibrant and full of warmth. Embracing simplicity is another Stoic lesson that rekindles enthusiasm. In a world filled with distractions and endless desires, Stoicism teaches the value of focusing on what truly matters. By choosing simplicity, you're creating a life that feels balanced, where your attention is directed toward what genuinely brings joy. This simplicity reduces stress, freeing you from the mental clutter that often drains enthusiasm. A life of simplicity brings clarity, a reminder that true fulfillment isn't found in excess, but in appreciating what you already have. This appreciation fuels enthusiasm, a contentment that fills each day with a quiet, enduring joy. Stoicism also teaches the importance of setting boundaries. When life feels overwhelming, it's often because too many demands pull you in different directions. By setting boundaries, you're protecting your time and energy, ensuring that they are spent on what truly matters. These boundaries create a life that feels focused, a reminder that enthusiasm grows when your actions reflect your priorities. Each boundary becomes a declaration of self-respect, a commitment to living with intention rather than obligation. This focus fosters enthusiasm as you're no longer drained by distractions, but energized by a life that feels aligned with your values. Another lesson is to embrace challenge. The Stoics viewed challenges not as burdens, but as opportunities to grow stronger. By embracing challenges, you're building a mindset that sees difficulty as a chance to expand, to test your limits. This approach transforms struggles from sources of frustration into sources of motivation, a reminder that each challenge is a step toward resilience. Embracing challenge creates a sense of adventure, a life that feels dynamic and full of possibility. This shift in perspective fuels enthusiasm as you see each challenge not as a barrier, but as an opportunity for greatness. Cultivating patience is also essential. Enthusiasm often fades when results don't come quickly, but Stoicism teaches the importance of trusting the process. Patience allows you to stay committed, to find joy in the journey rather than in immediate outcomes. This patience creates a sense of peace, a reminder that growth takes time and that each day is a valuable part of the journey. By embracing patience, you're reducing frustration, allowing enthusiasm to grow as you focus on the effort rather than on the result. Patience creates a life that feels steady and fulfilling, one where each step is appreciated. Practicing reflection brings renewed enthusiasm. Taking time to review your thoughts, actions, and experiences allows you to gain perspective, to see your growth and progress. This reflection helps you recognize the value in each day, creating a life that feels intentional and full of meaning. By reflecting regularly, you're nurturing a sense of fulfillment, a reminder that each moment holds lessons and insights. This perspective brings enthusiasm, as you see your journey not as a series of tasks, but as a path rich with purpose and growth. Through these Stoic lessons, enthusiasm becomes a natural part of life, a steady energy that carries you forward even in challenging times. Each principle fosters a life that feels balanced, resilient, and full of joy. By embracing gratitude, resilience, and patience, you're creating a mindset that finds beauty in each moment, a life that feels both meaningful and uplifting. These lessons offer a way to rekindle joy and purpose, helping you face each day with a renewed sense of enthusiasm and strength. Finding enthusiasm through Stoicism transforms how you approach life, but the journey doesn't stop at motivation and resilience. There's an even deeper power in learning to relax into life's flow. In a world that often pushes constant striving, Stoicism teaches the importance of cultivating inner peace as the foundation for manifesting your deepest desires. Relaxing into life is not passive. It's about finding calm in action, detachment in pursuit, and trust in the journey. Through this calm, you become a magnet for everything you seek, embodying a mindset that attracts fulfillment, joy, and purpose. The first Stoic lesson for manifesting through relaxation is embracing acceptance. When you accept life as it is, rather than resisting or wishing it were different, you open yourself to the richness of the present moment. This acceptance fosters a deep sense of peace, creating a mindset that is free from the stress of unmet expectations. By accepting what you cannot change, you're freeing yourself to focus on what you can influence, creating a life that feels balanced and open. This acceptance allows you to attract what you desire without the tension of constant control, letting life unfold naturally in alignment with your goals. Detachment is another powerful lesson. Many people attach tightly to specific outcomes, feeling that happiness depends on achieving them. However, Stoicism teaches that letting go of attachment allows you to pursue your desires without becoming consumed by them. This detachment isn't about giving up on goals. It's about embracing a mindset that trusts in the process rather than fixating on results. When you release attachment, you're able to enjoy each step of the journey, knowing that your happiness isn't tied to any single outcome. This sense of freedom naturally attracts what aligns with your path, allowing you to live fully while moving toward your aspirations. The practice of gratitude plays a key role in relaxing into life. By focusing on what you already have, you create a mindset of abundance rather than lack. Gratitude shifts your energy, reminding you of the richness in your life, regardless of what you seek. This gratitude reduces the need to chase fulfillment as you realize that contentment is already within your reach. By grounding yourself in appreciation, you create a sense of completeness that draws even more blessings into your life. This gratitude creates a peaceful foundation, a reminder that you have enough, that you are enough, and that each new experience is a gift. Stoic patience is essential for manifesting with calm. Impatience often stems from a desire for immediate results, leading to stress and frustration. By practicing patience, you're creating a mindset that values steady progress over instant outcomes. This patience allows you to relax, to let things unfold in their own time, trusting that what is meant for you will arrive when it's ready. Each moment of patience builds resilience, a reminder that fulfillment is found in the journey, not in rushing toward the destination. This calm confidence attracts success naturally, as you're no longer forcing outcomes, but allowing them to develop with ease. Embracing simplicity is another lesson that fosters calm manifestation. In a world filled with distractions and endless desires, simplicity reminds you to focus on what truly matters. By choosing simplicity, you're removing the clutter from your life, creating space for what brings genuine joy. This simplicity reduces stress, freeing you from the mental noise that often comes with chasing too many things at once. A life of simplicity becomes a clear path, a reminder that true abundance isn't found in excess, but in appreciating the essentials. This clarity and focus attract the experiences and people that align with your values, creating a life of peace and purpose. Trusting in the natural flow of life is also crucial. Many people try to control every detail of their journey, leading to tension and frustration. Stoicism teaches that while effort is essential, it's equally important to trust in the flow of life. This trust allows you to relax, knowing that life often has a way of bringing what you need, even if it doesn't arrive in the way you expect. By embracing this flow, you're creating a mindset that is open and adaptable, a life that attracts opportunities with ease. Trusting the journey means letting go of resistance, creating a peaceful presence that welcomes whatever comes your way. Living with intentionality is another vital Stoic lesson. When you approach each day with clear purpose, your actions align with your goals, creating a life that feels directed and meaningful. This intentionality brings a sense of calm, as you're no longer scattered by distractions, but focused on what truly matters. Each choice becomes a step toward your desires, a reminder that manifestation isn't about wishing, but about living with purpose. This purposeful calm attracts experiences that resonate with your intentions, creating a path that feels both fulfilling and serene. Forgiveness is a powerful practice for manifesting with peace. Holding on to past grievances or regrets creates mental clutter, weighing down your spirit and blocking new possibilities. Stoicism teaches that forgiveness frees you from this burden, allowing you to move forward with a clear heart. By choosing to forgive, you're creating space for positivity, a life that isn't held back by old wounds. This forgiveness opens the door for new experiences, as you're no longer limited by the past, but open to the future. Forgiveness brings a peace that attracts what aligns with your growth, creating a life of freedom and possibility. The art of setting boundaries is also essential. Many people spread themselves thin, taking on obligations that drain their energy and distract from their goals. By setting boundaries, you're protecting your time and energy, ensuring that they are spent on what truly matters. These boundaries create a life that feels focused, a reminder that relaxation comes from saying no to what doesn't serve you. Each boundary becomes a statement of self-respect, a commitment to living with purpose rather than obligation. This focus fosters peace, attracting people and opportunities that respect and align with your values. Practicing resilience is another powerful Stoic lesson. Life will bring challenges, but resilience allows you to face them with calm and confidence. This resilience isn't about ignoring difficulties. It's about meeting them with strength and adaptability. By cultivating resilience, you're creating a mindset that is unshaken by setbacks, a life that moves forward with steady determination. This resilience creates a sense of peace, as you're able to handle whatever comes your way. Each challenge becomes a chance to grow, a reminder that true strength is found in staying calm under pressure. This resilience naturally attracts success, as you're no longer thrown off course by temporary difficulties. Another key lesson is valuing self-care. Stoicism teaches the importance of caring for your mind and body, as a healthy foundation is essential for a peaceful life. Self-care isn't indulgent. It's a way to ensure that you have the energy and focus to pursue your goals. By prioritizing self-care, you're creating a life that feels balanced, a reminder that relaxation isn't laziness, but a necessary part of a fulfilling life. This self-care nurtures enthusiasm and calm, creating an inner strength that attracts positive experiences. When you care for yourself, you're telling the world that you value your well-being, a message that draws respect and opportunity. Practicing self-awareness is essential for manifesting with peace. By understanding your values, strengths, and desires, you're able to make choices that align with who you truly are. This self-awareness creates a life that feels authentic, reducing the need to chase things that don't resonate. Each moment of self-awareness deepens your connection to your goals, a reminder that true fulfillment is found in knowing and honoring yourself. This awareness attracts what truly aligns with you, creating a life that feels both meaningful and peaceful. Living with curiosity also fosters a calm, open mindset. Many people approach life with rigid expectations, leading to disappointment when things don't go as planned. By embracing curiosity, you're creating a mindset that views life as an adventure, a journey of exploration rather than a race to a specific outcome. This curiosity reduces frustration, a reminder that each experience brings value, even if it doesn't align with your initial expectations. Curiosity keeps you open to possibilities, creating a life that feels rich and dynamic. This openness attracts experiences that expand your perspective, creating a path of discovery and joy. Practicing humility allows you to relax and attract with grace. Many people feel the need to prove themselves, to seek validation through status or recognition. Stoicism teaches that humility frees you from this burden, a reminder that your worth isn't tied to external approval. By embracing humility, you're creating a mindset that values growth over image, a life that is driven by purpose rather than by the need to impress. This humility brings a sense of peace, as you're no longer striving to prove yourself, but living with quiet confidence. This peaceful presence attracts what truly aligns with your values, creating a life of authenticity and fulfillment. Through these Stoic lessons, relaxation becomes a path to manifesting all that you desire. Each principle reinforces a mindset that finds peace in presence, strength in simplicity, and joy in each step. By embracing acceptance, gratitude, and resilience, you're creating a life that attracts with ease, a journey that feels aligned and deeply rewarding. These lessons offer a way to live fully without force, helping you attract a life that feels both peaceful and profoundly fulfilling. In just 3 months, you hold the power to redefine who you are. By embracing Stoicism, you're not merely transforming your habits, you're reshaping your entire outlook, cultivating resilience, self-reliance, and a deep sense of inner peace. You're learning to let go of the need for validation, to detach from outcomes, to focus on gratitude, and to master your mind. With each practice, each quiet act of discipline, you are crafting a life driven by purpose rather than by fleeting emotions or external pressures. This journey is about more than self-improvement. It's about reclaiming your power, standing firm in who you are, and becoming the most authentic, unshakable version of yourself. As you grow, the transformation will radiate from within, creating a strength that doesn't need validation, a calm that stands unbothered, and a confidence that comes from knowing you've found your path. If you're ready to take this journey with all your heart, let us know in the comments. What will you commit to changing in the next 3 months? We'd love to hear your thoughts, your goals, and your aspirations. And if you found value in this guide,